All right, welcome to race 7, TCRs at Bathurst Mount Panorama, whatever you want to call it. Got all the cars set up. Let's get our session created. Once again, 1:34 p.m. Central. We are live. It's a live broadcast. We're going to have 2-lap qualifier, 2 hours, 40 minutes of practice. Of racing. Sorry. My car doesn't matter. Mount Panorama Circuit. Full course yellows are on, but it's road, so it really doesn't matter. Single file maintain. This is what I had last week. Maintain when we saw what was going on. Didn't quite maintain, but we'll do single file back. Again, not going to matter really because it's a road course. Time of day, same as always, 11 a.m. Weather we will generate, but we will not have rain. Mount Panorama. Just I'm afraid after what we saw some of the other rain stuff, it would just create a mess and nobody'd finish. So we will not have rain at Mount Panorama. No incident limit, strict qualifying, track conditions, let it create. AI opponents should have ITA Sim League, 34 drivers. All the cars are at 80% fuel, accordance with our league, as you can see there. Skill spread is still 60-40, same as always, because that's what our skill spread is of our individual players. Let's roll. We're going to get the race started. As always, it'll start with qualifying, and it's going to take me a while to set up cameras. You will notice this time I'm sorry, but I didn't mess with paints. It takes me, believe it or not, about half an hour, 45 minutes to actually go in and change everybody's individual car paint for every race. I'm getting a late start today and simply didn't want to mess with it. I do have everybody in the TCR cars. And those of you that said which car you wanted, I've hopefully got those assigned correctly. But I did not mess with the paints because I'm just being lazy today. So we'll get this loaded up, get our cameras set, and get this thing started. We're at 50% and counting. All right, nothing too exciting. Still loading, loading. We are there. Put this on most exciting. F12. Let's get some cameras set up. Let's go to TV1. Big track, lots of cameras. So it's going to take a little bit for me to get these set up. Luckily, we can get it done during qualifying. If you're not really hearing much in terms of motors, these cars are pretty quiet. So not surprising. All right, I talk about this every broadcast we do, but just a reminder, trying to get all these cameras set up. Normally you would start the broadcast and get it all set up when the session's in practice mode, and then start your broadcast after you do all of this. But I wanted to start this live so you can see that the session is live. It's not pre-recorded. I'm not cheating anything. So you get to watch me adjust cameras and get everything ready. Good thing to do during qualifying anyways, because qualifying tends to not be super exciting anyways. Is what it is. Looks like everybody's working on their first lap here. It's going to be a over 2.5 hour race, or just under 2.5 hour race. 2 hours. No, 2 hours 40 minutes. Sorry, I was thinking 2.4 hours. 2 hours 40 minutes. So just over 2.5 hour race. As usual, I am going to say that I'm going to get this set up, probably put it on most exciting and walk away. But as usual, I probably will get involved in the race and stick around and stay here for the entire race. Should have our first set of cars putting in their first hot lap here.
The leader has just done a 2:15.72.
Chopper view, I bring it down, and I actually like it as a drone view, I will call it. Just in case we have that's pretty good. I was gonna say, in case we have a big wreck on the mountain, we might want to take a look at that. Getting ready to close out our second lap here and get started with racing. All right, that is the end of qualifying. Looks like everybody's put in a lap. We've got a spread of about 3 seconds, just under 3 seconds, with most, as usual, most of those 300 cars in the back. As a reminder, the 300 cars are people who joined the Discord but did not give me any stats. So they're set at 65 across the board, including a 65 of RS. So we'd expect them to be towards the back. But top qualifiers today: Dusty Dwayne, Colby Tucker, Duke Silver, Bucky Goldstein, Parker B, Dirty Dwayne, Yerg, Clean Dwayne, Potato, Handy Slider. Those are your top 10. Let's see if we can get this race started. As usual, I'm going to jump into my car so we can grid. Once the grid gets started, I will hop out and let them race. .4 or 2 hours 40 minutes at Mount Panorama. And I forgot to advance the session because it thought I was going to qualify. There we go. Advanced. Sitting there in my car, nobody else was gridding. Couldn't figure out why. All right, so there we go. Gridding. Hop in the car. There we go.
1 to go. Left side on the restart.
Got a little short pace lap.
35. The track
The road
temp
is
is
closed.
91 Fahrenheit. The air temp is 66. Cold tires all round.
We are live in the race. And
Rolling
today,
start. Get ready.
ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest with us in the booth, Mr. Kenneth Noisewater, who joined our league just a couple races ago. He races in the OBRL. We've got several folks from the OBRL out here. But welcome. You want me to call you Dr. Noisewater, Kenneth?
Dr.
What do you?
Dr. Kenneth Noisewater.
How about if I just call you Doc?
Yeah, that works.
Where'd you come up with that
This is-
name?
That's an old Anchorman reference.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
There we go. Let people look
This
it
is
up.
incredible.
Isn't this fun?
It's incredible. This has got to
Be
be.
ready.
This is the most important thing that's ever happened in iRacing history, and we're seeing it pan out right here.
It's kind of
This,
fun.
What cars
Green flag, green
These are the
flag.
TCRs, touring cars.
Now
So
70
we've got,
Fahrenheit.
there's a Honda, 2 Hyundais, and 2 Audis that are possible. Green flag is out. Dusty Dwayne, Colby Tucker leading the procession. Let's see if we can make it up the hill without a big wreck. But these are touring cars, so they're front-wheel drive. Each race this season has a different car. Trying some different things out, all different cars, all different tracks, all different disciplines.
Well, I watched the Indy 500 this week, and it was a classic battle. Even though I felt like Kenneth Noisewater got chipped. I don't know why, but I just felt like that. But he's gonna get back going. He's already gained a spot, so.
Well, he had. Here he is on the track. I'm not sure which. He's 11th. He's basically the top 14 are exactly as they started in their time trials. Had gained a spot, lost a spot. These cars are making it through the mountains pretty good, though.
The mountains are crazy here. Have you ever driven this track?
No, have not. Have you?
Oh, it's so rewarding. Yeah, we ran the 12 hours here, finished second, and it was very rewarding. Once you learn it, there's nothing better. You can start picking up little things, little nuances around these corners, these little tight corners like that. And man, it's so much fun. Pick up a 10th here, 10th there. Next thing you know, you're 5 seconds quicker than your previous lap. Don't even know why.
Well, it seems to me you got to concentrate the entire race. This is not a track. Well, I guess maybe the downhill where you get to rest just a bit.
Even that, it can throw you off. I see a lot of guys hitting out there in the dirt because that's what they do. They rest a little bit. And these are highway roads, so you're bouncing around like on the crown of it and things like that. So it's not even just straight. You got to think going through there. But it's just like any track, getting a rhythm.
Yeah.
If you get in a nice rhythm, especially in an endurance race, you can almost do it in your sleep once you learn it. But so rewarding, so much fun.
So I haven't done any testing. So early on in the season when we started this, Doc, I would do some testing, test some cars, tracks, not from the purpose of necessarily making my guy better because I disclosed everything in the results, but really just making sure how are these cars going to drive. I want a little bit of havoc, but not too much havoc, that sort of thing. I've done no testing on this track with the AI drivers, so we are seeing it live. We've gone, we're on our second lap. We've completed a lap. There's not been a single incident. So I'm happy to say these cars can handle this, and the AI drivers can handle this track, this car combo.
No, they can. I'm a little suspicious about Dustin Wayne up there leading, though. I feel like there's something going on there. And then, heck, if he don't work out, he's got 3 of his backups in this race, too, from what I understand.
There's a lot of Dwaynes in this race, absolutely. There's Dirty Dwayne, Dusty Dwayne, Clean Dwayne. I think, is that just the 3 of them?
Yeah. Well, that's
Dwayne,
all he's going to get counted for. We're not giving him any more credit.
Dwayne is out there watching, in fact, and is that any better? I've turned him up a little bit, Dwayne, as much as I can. Let me know if he needs to be louder. I'll try and work on that. Yeah, you were a little bit quiet. Our viewer, our one viewer, was saying, "Nah, I think we actually."
100% of the people are saying it.
That's right. We still have top 12, no movement, really nose to tail. You can see my drone going underground there. Nose to tail, top 12. This may end up being a fuel strategy or a pit strategy race for these guys up front. We do have some movement in the back. Nothing significant. 1, 2, 3 spots here and there. But that's about it. Biggest battle right now is up front, believe it or not. Duke Silver, these top 4 cars can be put under a blanket, racing for position up front. We're at 80% fuel today. All of our races, most all of our races are 80% fuel. I think the Indy we didn't need to, so we didn't. But so we should have at least, well, gosh, with the TCRs, I'm not sure. We're probably going to have at least 2 pits, maybe 3 today.
The leader has just done a 2:16.08.
Duke Silver there, throwing in a good lap, pretty much green to everybody behind him, but cannot quite keep up, or cannot pass the guys in front of him, but certainly right there with him.
You know, with this draw my attention to this little AI situation. I actually played with it. First came out of some AI, like a little mini season. I think I took the 87s and we raced at, say, Talladega. I was just setting up like a 10 race season, just having some fun. And I did notice, even though I would put them all equal, just to make them exactly equal, just to see where it would come out. And I noticed after about 5 races in, the guys that sort of made their way to the front points, they ended up being the guys that consistently would run up front from then on. So I don't know, even though all the stats were equal, it's almost like they have a mind of their own that says, hey, I'm the points leader, I got to perform, or whatever it was. So I don't know if that may play into some of this. Some of these guys that had some good runs and then are all of a sudden just up front every week, even though the stats are capped off at the 390, and there's some variation. It just seems like somehow there's like some memory in the system.
Yeah. So one of the things we learned is your overall AI driver rating, when you, not the individual drivers, but the overall setting, when you create a session, it will scale to those settings. So if you go like 0 to 100, even if your lowest driver is, say, a 60, it will scale it to a 0 because you set that overall scale to 0. So you have to set the overall scale to match the highest and lowest individual driver RS, relative scale. And then it won't scale any of the drivers. So what you may have been experiencing was it was scaling some of those drivers. And when it does that, what can happen is if your lowest driver is a 60, for example, it will scale him 60 RS points for 1 point of individual RS. So it creates some weird answers. We think we solved that by setting the overall scale to agree to the lowest driver and highest driver. So the stats that you picked for your driver pretty much should hold true in here. Now, there's lots of stats. There's 6 of them, and I think that's where you're seeing your difference. I also think these drivers, if you don't set the aggression level very high, it is very difficult for them to pass each other. I'm going to turn, we've got a lot of road noise here, so you bear with me for a second. You're going to see my graphics. I'm going to turn some of this engine noise down a little bit so that you can hear us talking. I don't know if that's engine noise or road noise, to be honest with you. But I'm going to get that turned down just a little bit. You'll be able to hear us talking a little better.
That helped it a little bit.
Yeah. So I said, normally I think, Doc, I'd set all this stuff up before we do a broadcast so we don't have to mess with it. But I always want to start creating the session live so everybody can see what I'm doing and knows there's no funny stuff going on. So the bad part is then we have to deal with some of this technical stuff live in our broadcast, as opposed to when it's created ahead of time. Top 12.
Of one will be a little upset.
Yeah, there you go. Top 12 still single file just as they qualified. This is what, Doc, this is what I was talking about earlier, is the one thing I noticed about the AI is they don't really try to pass each other very much. They wait for somebody to make a mistake.
Yeah, it's odd. Back in the old days of the NASCAR, 2003, when that's all you had, it was as if you could have some really good racing. There was passing all the time, and when iRacing started coming out with this AI, I thought this is going to be great, but it's been a little bit of wonkiness in it, and they keep improving it, and I'm sure they're just starting from scratch like they do, but it sounds like he's making a little move there for a second, but yeah, maybe that once the tires wear a little bit, they'll get a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I think, the best racing we had a dirt race, and that was fantastic. They really were jostling around. They were using different lanes. That was fun. Indy wasn't bad. We saw a bunch of changes for position, but like Martinsville was, Martinsville was just single file unless the car was trying to messed up. So it will be, we're doing all different kinds of tracks, cars, combos, mainly just to kind of figure out how this stuff works. At the end of the season, we'll kind of revisit it and see if anybody wants to do it again, and if we want to stick to a single discipline or if we want to continue this multi-discipline stuff.
Well, it's cool to see something different out there. Of course, the Indy cars at the Brickyard were a common thing, but this is totally new. Some people don't even know this track. They're kind of intimidated by it and haven't run it. And then the TCR cars, I don't even think I've driven them or even seen them on a track. So it's neat to see something different.
Yeah, you need to give them a try. They're front-wheel drive, so they drive completely different, and they take a little getting used to. I've driven them a couple times, mainly because if I do a endurance race with multiple classes, I like to find the least popular class and get in it, and TCRs often will be that least popular class. Couple big movers, not many today, but let me bring up a stat here. 1 second. There we go. So biggest mover up is the 9 car, the Belt. He's up 4 spots into 18th place. Right above him, Trick Dickel, down 4 spots. We might have a move here. Here we have finally 6th place, Parker B looking to make a pass on Dirty Dwayne. They are side by side heading into the turn at the top of the hill.
Yeah, we're getting some action now. This is getting good.
Parker B with the pass. Parker B is 2 for 1, I think. Passes Bucky Goldstein. Finally getting a little action up here. Parker is now they're swapping positions again. Clean Dwayne and Dirty Dwayne. side by side. I don't know these
Well, we
turn.
got a little sideways.
Yeah, I don't know these turn names, so we're just going to say they're at the top of the hill.
Yeah, call it the mountain. We're in the mountain.
They're up at the mountain, up at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, what's the track temperature right now? You have that data?
Track temp is 70 degrees. It's right there. It's probably hard for you to see, but air temp 65, track temp 70. We're on lap 6. There's a big gap there between 10th place and 11th place. Dr. Noisewater is leading this pack of 11th place on, but 5 seconds to the car in front. What's going on, Doc?
Well, what he's doing here, this is all part of the plan. He's taking it easy. There's no reason to get up there right now. Those guys are burning their stuff up. You saw him start to slide around. And Dr. Kenneth, he knows what he's doing. He's really smart. He's going to take it easy on the strategy, and he's got them right where he wants them. He's not letting them pass. And the guys behind him, they could learn a thing or two doing what he's doing.
Yeah, we'll see if they stay patient or if they try to make a move. So we finally did have, looks like up front oh no, we've got a move. Do we have a move for the lead?
It's the lead right here?
Yeah, Colby Tucker, oh, he doesn't get a move made, but now third and fourth, side by side. Bucky Goldstein trying to make a move on Duke Silver. Bucky Goldstein edging him out, going towards the mountain. Let's see if he can let this position stick. On the outside. Oh, slid gets loose. Now he's at risk of losing a position. And he does. I guess that is the risk of trying to make a pass and not succeeding, is you're apt to lose multiple positions. So up here in the top 10, a little bit of movement. Parker B up 1, Bucky Goldstein down 1, Jurgen, Clean Dwayne both up 1, Dirty Dwayne down 2 spots. Meanwhile, Doc still leading that second procession, but Doc, you're losing 2 seconds a lap to the leaders.
Exactly. That's exactly. Everything's going perfect here. Just watch it out. Watch it from here and keep your eye on it.
All right.
He's doing what he's supposed to do.
He may be fuel saving and going to be able to eliminate a pit. Oh,
Yep.
Wait a minute. We had a crash. I'm
Uh-oh.
showing Patrick Stein. Let's see if we can pull up what happened to Patrick. Oh, turns, a little bit too hard into turn 1, or the top of the hill, just slides into the inside wall. He's going to sit, watch everybody go by. We are back live with Dirty Dwayne. So that's going to hurt. He does not have a meatball, but he is going into the pits to get some damage fixed. Dirty Dwayne tried to make a move there to get one of those positions back, unable to make it stick. Meanwhile, Tater behind him, trying to advance on Dirty Dwayne side by side into turn 1. Dirty Dwayne on the outside, Tater with the edge. Tater slips into that position, moves him up 1 spot, Dirty Dwayne down 3. We have another car in the pits.
He burned his stuff up.
He was sliding.
He's just not doing it right. I don't know. We need to check on him.
Luke B in the pits. Don't see any incidents, so I'm not sure if he just has a little bit of damage or what. Oh, these guys are battling around for...
They're slinging it. They're slinging it in that corner.
They are. That was a battle for 13th spot.
They did a couple of them.
So we've got Luke B in the pits. Patrick Stein is out of the pits. He spent about 2 minutes in the pits. They must have fixed his car up. He is a lap down. given that we are on iRacing roads, there is no chance of a caution. So he's just going to try and trudge it out, see if somebody else can wreck and he can gain a few spots that way. Dirty Dwayne says he is backing out of the lead group to get to the back because they're going to wreck each other. They are driving too hard. Dusty Dwayne up here with the lead has a half-second gap on Colby Tucker, followed by Duke Silver, Parker B, Bucky Goldstein. Jurg always seems to be up there in the top 5 somewhere. Now sitting at 6th place, however, followed by Clean Dwayne, Potater, Dirty Dwayne. Andy Slider's right in there behind. Doc still there, but he's 14 seconds back from the lead, leading this procession nose to tail. I don't know, Doc. I know you're saving your stuff, but it sure looks like you're just slowing everybody down.
No, not at all. That's his teammate right behind him with a similar paint scheme. So it's all going according to plan. It's perfect, even though he's making a pass here.
Yeah, I was going to say, your teammate's done. He's going.
That'll get you kicked out of this team right here.
He's not going to make the pass.
No, he didn't, because, Kenneth Mooreswater, he knows what he's doing. He said, hey, are you going to pressure me? I'll pick it up a little bit. I can go as fast as I need to right here. That's what
we've got a battle for the lead. Dusty Dwayne. Sorry, missed it. He fell. He must have had a bad corner. That gives our lead to Colby Tucker with Duke Silver, Dusty Dwayne now in 3rd. Parker B looking to make a move on the top of the mountain. Gets back in line, thinks better of it. Back to single file here on the top of the mountain.
Now, do you think that the manufacturers have an advantage over one or the other, like the Audis over the Honda or the Hyundai?
Well, I think there's definitely an advantage because that's why we have BOPs in all the endurance races, right? We have some either reduced in power, fuel economy, something like that. So there is a slight advantage. I don't think it's significant, but there definitely is an advantage. And if an AI driver tells me what car they want, I put them in that car. So if they want to go do the research, they can tell me what car they want. If they don't tell me, it is purely random. I just try and mix the field. We're just over 20 minutes into this 2-hour, 40-minute race. A little bit of movement up front, not a lot. But we have the top 10 cars have basically pulled away from the pack, followed by a small pack of 11 through 17, 19 through 23, and so on. I would imagine, I don't know what kind of fuel economy these TCRs get, so I don't know if normally they would pit around the hour mark. We're at 80% fuel, so I would expect to see them maybe just under an hour. Battle going on here for 21st place. Seems like everybody was nose to tail for the first at least 5, 6, 7 laps. Now we're starting to see some movement. So we went to the lead, and Doc, you're still leading this pack, even though Mike Hunt tried to make a move. Looks like he wasn't.
He got the radio call and told him to sit tight. You're right where you need to be. At this point, if you push, the strategy's off. So they're doing exactly what they need to do right here. And this is the pack you got to watch out for, because you can lose 50 seconds here and still be in prime position if you make that one of those pit stops. So who cares what
I wish we knew what these guys were thinking in terms of pit stops. We don't have any data to know, and it seems like the pit stops have been all over the place. Colby coming up over the mountain really looks like he has that Honda tuned well and in good. He looks so smooth.
Yeah, you may have to smoothen this up, and that's something you can do. But remember, you have the smoothness up. There, you hear some radio chatter. You have the smoothness up, but you're giving up something else. That could be pitch strategy, could be just what a number of things there, whatever it was on the aspect of it. But so sometimes It may put you up front for a little while, but then you have nowhere to go but down sometimes. So I don't know. I'd be a little nervous if I was up front right now.
Yeah, we struggle to figure out what the right tune for your AI driver is. I like that we can go in and adjust our driver between races. You can adjust any of your attributes by up to 5 points, no more than 5 for any attribute. We have a move here for the lead. Duke Silver moving to the inside. We've seen this move several times. No one able to complete it going into turn one. Once again, same thing.
It seems like it cost you because now you get off that corner a little slow because you had to you had to pinch the car a little bit. Now you got this long straightaway where you didn't maintain momentum. So now the guy in third, see he's got a nice grab. He's going to make a move right here, at least here, down here. And then everybody keeps overshooting this corner. So it's just puts a little pressure.
Yeah, Dusty Dwayne tried to move outside, didn't make anything happen. We did have a move out here. Parker B had made up a spot or two, had a real bad entry into that corner, just dropped 2 spots. Parker B down 3 spots into 8th. That's Dirty Dwayne right behind Parker B. Parker B and Dirty Dwayne have a history. Let's see if Dwayne tries to catch up to him and maybe give him the old 1-2. Doc, you're 12 seconds back from the leader. I don't recall. I thought it was a little more than that. Are you making up some time?
I'm showing 18 seconds still, so it's all about fuel.
Yep.
It's all about fuel.
You're 12 seconds behind the car in front. My bad. You're right. 18 seconds to the leader. And based on our timing, about 1.8 seconds slower last lap.
Yeah, now, and sometimes it just matters where you qualify. If you qualify in the back, you might as well just say, let's flip this on its head, do something totally different. Let's save fuel. You start up front, like I said, you're kind of committed there. You don't want to say, well, let's go to a fuel save and give up the lead. So you're kind of stuck. And I think right there where Dr. Kenneth is kind of that spot where you're like, I'm not going to just go push myself up here and get in the middle of this mess. Let's run the strategy. Why not be the first of one strategy instead of the back of another strategy?
Here we go. Another battle. Duke to the inside. Oh, he's got a little help this time. I don't think he's going to make it stick, though. Oh, Colby Tucker just cuts his nose off. Duke still trying to push.
Still there.
Still trying to make a run. Oh.
Yeah, here comes third.
Third place takes over second. That is Dusty Dwayne moving into second. Duke Silver tried to make a pass, wasn't able to make it stick. Instead of gaining a position, he lost a position. Man, it seems
you just can't make that move in turn one. That's not going to work unless the guy messes up.
We got Parker B and Clean Dwayne battling for position. I think they're going to go single file now that we're at the top of the mountain. Yep. Meanwhile, Dirty Dwayne sitting back, like he said, back of the front pack, just watching, waiting for havoc to ensue.
Now, all these drivers are the same age?
They're all the same age, yes.
So they're all going to fall out of the seat at the same time. So that's something else that could play into it. If a 2-hour race, that's an endurance race. We need some AI backup drivers to come in and fill in.
Yeah. So you asked about manufacturers if there's an advantage. I will say I don't really see anything significant in this race. I mean, we got a Honda followed by a Hyundai followed by an Audi, Honda, Hyundai, Audi. So we are not really seeing any significant difference in the manufacturers. The one exception is almost all the bottom ones are Audis. Now, I did put all the 300 cars. So that, remember, the 300 drivers are the ones with the low RS. We expect them to be slower. I did throw them all in the Audi just for simplicity. Since they're not actively participating in the AI racing, they just wanted to come check it out. So all those Audis at the bottom is not a sign of Audi manufacturing issues, because we've got an Audi in third, seventh, etc. That's an issue more of individual driver attributes. Trick Dickel.
Duke Silver's. Well, I was going to say Duke Silver. He's representing Audi really well as he goes.
Oh,
for second
contact!
Hustles ways.
Yeah, we have some contact as Duke Silver trying to make a pass on Dusty Dwayne for second place. Duke's in third. Duke's in the Audi on your right. He's going to have to fall back in line. Did not get that pass done.
Yeah, you heard me saying you can't do turn one, so he was going to make it happen. Still didn't. Still could come back and bite him racing like that.
Bucky Goldstein making a move to third place, getting past Dusty Dwayne in that turn at the top of the mountain. Meanwhile, we have another car in the pits, Dr. Johnny Fever in the pits. We'll see how long he's in the pits. I don't see an incident that popped up. I don't know if he had a little wall scrape or damage or is just going on a different pit strategy here. He's been in the pits for about 34 seconds. We'll see what happens. Battle back here for 21st. Seems like everybody's trying to make that pass at the end of the long straight after turn one, headed up into the mountain.
Yeah, I think with these, they're not the high-powered cars you're normally seeing. I'm guessing compared to the GT3s, they're not even that powered.
No.
Plus they're front-wheel drive, so you need these long straightaways in the draft, and that's really the only time to do it. You'd think down this hill, but just the way the corner sets up, it doesn't really benefit you to dive it in and make a pass here at this part.
Yeah, these are definitely, I don't know what their horsepower rating is, but Dusty Dwayne trying to make a move on Bucky does not commit. A lot of these cars will stick their nose out there. I don't know if they're trying to play the psychological game or what the strategy is behind that, as opposed to using that draft as long as they can.
Yeah, and I would say the optimism rating would go up when you see a guy making a move like that here and out, as you see the battle for the lead possibly here. But sometimes that optimism, even though you have a high rating on optimism, that's what costs you. So just like right here, 6-7 made a move. And we saw that everybody that's made a move like that have lost the spot on this straightaway. So it's almost like optimism hurts you in these moments.
Yeah, they think they can do more than they can. They think they can make a pass, and they can't. Right now, we've got Dusty Dwayne and Bucky Goldstein battling for that third place position. Looks like Dusty's going to fall back in line. Once again, trying to make a pass doesn't happen. Have to go back single file.
So this is a 2-hour and 30-minute race.
It sure is.
Okay, and so we're 30 minutes in. If they start pitting here in the next 20 minutes or so, we kind of get an idea of what pit strategy is going to play out.
Exactly. Yeah, I would think, I don't remember what a fuel run is for the TCRs. I know they can run pretty long. I set it at 80% fuel, but I didn't do any testing, so we'll just have to see. Luke B had pit, I said lap 7. He was in the pits for 1 minute, so I feel like that's probably a little bit of repairs. We've seen these AI drivers come in for 10 seconds of repair before. If they need a repair, they come in and get it done. They don't seem to know when it's minor or whether it's major.
Yeah, it's like, if I was in this race, I'd probably, throw an early pit stop as soon as I can, especially if I was in a group in the last part of that group and just can't make up any ground. Get some clean air. Get out there by yourself.
I'd be curious what would be more beneficial, that clean air because of the twists and turns up in the mountain, or the draft coming up and down the mountain?
Yeah, I would say the clean, because I don't know that these things, if the draft was that big, you would see a whole lot more slingshots going on. But they're only making the move like right here on this straightaway. It's just a 90 degree, and then they're just getting through the corner a little better. So yeah, if we were seeing a lot of slingshots going on, or this huge gap close up, then maybe. But I don't think it's helping the fuel that much, especially as long as this track is. I don't see you even gaining 1 lap just from drafting.
Gotcha. Yeah, these top 10 within 6 seconds. Still just nose to tail and pretty much have been driving away from the rest of the field. The rest of the field being Doc here in 11th place, leading this second pack. Still holding strong up there up front with his teammate, Mike Hunt, looking like he wants to make a move, but just never completes it.
Yeah, he wants to.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, that's going to cost him there. He went wide, and instead of gaining 1 spot, it looks like he may lose 4 spots.
It's hard to be patient. And I'm just talking about in regular races that we're doing. Think of Michigan when we run the ovals. Say you're in a car that, you know how Michigan gets. You want to make that move. You want to get to the bottom. But as soon as you can't pass, then you got 3 cars that pass you on the straightaway. And that seems like that's kind of what's happening with these things with a low horsepower.
Yeah, I think in all forms of racing, you got to find a way to be patient, and it's really difficult at times.
Yeah, we think just because the green flag's out, that means we need to charge. A lot of times you don't. Just get to the end and then compact the race to like a last little segment. The rest of the time is just kind of getting in position. And if you kind of get there and put yourself where you feel like it's fine, you know, where you can compete at that point, then you go. But just charging for the heck of it, would just get you more trouble. Oh, we got trouble.
Dusty Dwayne just got turned into. Let's go back and take another look at that. Let's go here to our chopper view. Let's see what happens. Looks like the car, I'm not sure who that is on the inside. I don't know. That one's tough. It looked like Dusty just didn't know the car was there and kind of turned into him. One more look.
Showing Jurg in 4th now, and that would have been a battle for 4th. I think there was contact, but that's what I mean. Even though seems like a passing zone after a long straightaway, it's just a quick switch back. It's more of a rhythm section than it is a passing zone.
So we'll see what happens here. So there's going to be some damage between Jurg and Dusty Dwayne. Dusty Dwayne now kind of all by himself there between the first and second pack. Let's see if these guys come in, get some damage fixed, or if they stay out on track.
Yeah, it was so light, but you just never know. Sometimes you make contact, you slam a wall, and you swear you ruined it, and it doesn't do anything. And then other times you just kind of brush somebody else just in the wrong angle, and next thing you know, their toes bent and everything else. So sometimes it's just a guessing game when that happens.
Absolutely, and these drivers don't seem to know the difference between a scratch and a bent toe link, because they'll come in for either.
Good side by side there.
Good battle for 18th spot between Scott Negus, Zipe, and Lone Star. We are 16 laps in, just under 40 minutes. We're about 35 minutes in. Had a couple of incidents. Up here at the front, we are starting to see maybe a little bit of a breakaway. These top 3, Colby, Tucker, Duke Silver, Bucky Goldstein, with a little bit of gap now to Jurg in 4th. Do you think Jurg has some damage from that contact?
He may have had, or just locking him up in that little gap just from allowing, once the contact happened, he had to allow him to spin away from him, and it slows your momentum, and next thing you know, you're a little off, and that's where the gap is. But that's how important it is just to be smooth and consistent. You could be fast, but you make that one little sideways coming out of a corner, and you lose that football field of a gap, and it takes you 10 laps to ever recover from it.
So it looks like Dusty Dwayne and Jurg both stayed out on track. Neither one felt they had enough damage to come in for, so they're just going to continue racing. Yeah, I hear what you're saying there. Oh, somebody's got their windshield wipers on. Is somebody leaking some fluid? We see probably just some dirt. It looks like Mike Hunt. Oh, he pulled in the pits.
And now he was the one running right behind noise water. And he was pushing harder. So now he's decided, all right, let's pit now. Let's just see what this ends up with strategy. So we're almost, by the time this lap ends, we're 40 minutes in. That's 2 hours left. So if he can run only 40 minutes, what's that do? It leaves, 20 minutes here. that's right at a time where you could make it on just, 3 more stops
Yeah, we'll have to see how
or
this
2.
plays out, whether that was a one-off pit or if all the cars start coming in. You think all that pulling out of line, trying to make a pass is what caused him to have to burn more fuel?
Well, like I said, if the 27 noise water there, if he's only running a pace, and Hunt had caught him, he'd gained spots, so he wasn't holding back. He was just trying to gain what he could until he got there. So maybe he burnt, a lap quicker. It'd be interesting to see if the rest come in. But you see, the leaders are still out there, so I don't know that it would. That he had to pit, but I think he's just looking at strategy, saying I can make it here, and then I can space out my race accordingly. So he may be in a spot where he can take advantage of clean air right here.
Gotcha,
By
Jurg.
pitting the lap early.
Yeah, and Jurg has caught those top three again. So I think you were right. It was more a case of he just had either some hot tires he had to cool down, or he had to check up for that incident. But he has caught the top three again. They are a pack. Let's see if any of them pit. No, they don't. None of the top five pit. Go back here to Mr. Doc. Doc's coming in. He's got a big gap now behind him. Let's see if any of these guys pit. Still giving up a second a lap to the leaders. And he is staying out. Meanwhile, Dirty Dwayne looking to make a move into 7th place. 8th place is where he's stuck. Did not successfully complete the pass. Duke Silver here gets stuck on the outside, goes from 2nd to 5th. If you get out of line, it's a train. That moves Bucky Goldstein to 2nd place. Colby Tucker, Bucky Goldstein, Jurg Potater, Duke Silver in 5th, followed by Parker B, Clean Dwayne, Dirty Dwayne, and Handy Slider, with Dusty Dwayne making out your top 10. Seems like going into the turn at the top of the hill, if you try to make a pass and cannot successfully complete it, you will lose 3 spots instead of gaining 1.
That's where the optimism comes in, I would say. You're willing to take that risk. And like I said, I think this track, particularly just the way it's panning out, I think the optimism is a bad thing.
Yeah, I would say you're right. I think that having a lower optimism is helping here, because it seems like maybe the strategy is just to sit in line. We're running up here, at least in the front, in the top 5. Let's just sit in line and work together and try and pull this pack ahead instead of battling each other and letting the guys behind catch up.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And it could just be, I don't know, the relative skill. Seems like that would be where you qualify. So I would say that would take the top 10 or 11 guys in qualifying. So they're the ones who are fast. And then you have, like you said, the smoothness can probably help here. But even I noticed last week, or the last race at Indy, maybe the smoothness being down. So you'd see some guys kind of wobble around or whatever. Well, sometimes that will trigger the guy that they're racing with to maybe give them a little room. And then all of a sudden they miss the line because the guy behind them is not smooth. And so sometimes even that, I think, can be and it just depends on the situation with the car. So,
battle for the lead here. Sorry to interrupt, but this is a battle for the lead. Bucky Goldstein around the outside. Historically, he's going to lose 3 spots because he didn't complete the pass. And no, that was Colby. Sorry, Colby Tucker around the outside, who was leading. Bucky got into the wall. Duke Silver. Duke Silver into the wall. So Colby Tucker went from the lead to 4th place because Bucky was able to get track position. Everybody followed him, and Colby just could not get back in line.
What are the odds Bucky Goldstein would be leading right
now? I don't know. He hasn't led any other races. Meanwhile, we have some battles back here in the back. Lone Star, seems like all the battles are on the straightaway leading up into the mountain. everybody trying to make that pass on turn one. Yeah, Bucky Goldstein's nowhere, not even in the top 10 in points. He's the first race of this season was GT3s at Daytona. Bucky was in a Lamborghini and spun himself out, I think, 4 times in the bus stop. Other Lambos
Yeah,
were. Oh, sorry, I was going to say other Lambos were having problems, but not as much as Bucky.
I think right now the strategy though was who was that pitted a while ago? Hunt. He just looking at this, it's every 40 minutes. He's only got to pit 2 more times if he does that, and I don't see that these guys can go where they can go 1 stop.
I
You know,
agree. I
they'd
don't.
have to go what an hour and 20 left. They got to go another 40 minutes.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
think so, but they're TCRs. They got little motors. I do
yeah,
not know what the fuel, what a fuel run is. I know
yeah.
as a
So if
broadcaster, I probably should have done more homework, but
oh no, this is the fun of it. So yeah, so he pitted at hour 2, or 2 hours
right.
to go. That's 40 minutes in. So you do it again at an hour 20
Yep.
left, and then you hit one more time at 40 minutes.
Yep.
So that means he's on a 3-stop strategy. So maybe the rest of the guys are looking at 2 stops. So it just depends on. We'll see when they pit, and then see if that makes sense.
Now, I will point out, here is Mike Hunt. Mike Hunt's out on track by himself. Sliding it around in there. He is in clean air. But if you look at the standings board, he is green to most of the field. He's
Yeah, exactly. He's
not
out
as
there by
fast.
himself.
Yeah, he's not as fast as the leader, and there's a couple other cars out there, but he is green definitely all the way up to 13th space and green to some of the guys in the top 10. So he is throwing down some laps right now with that clean air.
Yeah, and new tires. Brand new tires, and nobody around him to distract him. You don't see the sparks fly out. You don't have to turn his wipers on because the guy threw some mud up. It's just getting out there and getting into a rhythm, and that's big time strategy.
Let's see how it plays out. Josh Robinson here looking to make a move. He is down 4 spots. This has been a consistent theme for Josh in the 2 races since he joined. He seems to start out a little bit higher and then fall during the race. I'm not sure exactly what his stats are, but that does not reflect real life at all.
We need to fire his crew chief.
Top 10 still within 10 seconds of each other. They have spread out a little bit. Dusty Dwayne coming down the hill looking to make a move on. Is that? Oh, nope, that's not Doc. Doc's in the second group here.
We're still in the mountain. Here we come.
Coming down the mountain. Looks like the Trick Dickle Honda has caught you and trying to make a move. Not going to make
There's
it
that
happen.
optimism.
Yep.
He's going to dive here. But, I mean, 27, car hadn't been passed. And, either way it works out, you're leading that strategy. So even if the strategy don't work out, you're the best of that group. Sometimes that's what you just go with.
Yeah. Jurg trying to make a move for the lead. Falls back in line. He knows better than to be stuck on the outside into turn 1. You get stuck on the outside, you're losing spots. Although the top 3 have another breakaway. Colby Tucker, who led most of this race, is letting the top 3 drive away from him. Does that mean that Colby was leading but not as fast as the group? They just couldn't find a way around, and now that they're around, they're driving away from him?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Either that, or with just the way the settings were, it was just aggressive early, and I don't know what these cars do on old tires, but maybe burn them up, maybe got them hot, and I was just suffering a little bit from it.
Well, we have a Honda, 2 Hyundais, followed by a Honda, Audi, Hyundai, Audi, Hyundai, Honda, Hyundai. Still have a mix-up here. No super close battles on track at the moment.
It looks like we're close now that the 2-stop strategy would come into play. because what you're getting close to an hour, and I'm trying to get my math right here, but let's just call it a 3 hour. If it was a 3 hour race, that means you'd pit at the hour or at 150. So if you go to 150, and then that means you can get to, uh, I'm
50,
saying
yeah, 50, 50. If you can make 54
50 minutes,
minutes, 54
54 minutes.
minutes,
There you go.
you're at a 2-stop.
And
And
so where are we at right now?
we are at not quite to 50 minutes yet. We're at about 48 minutes right now. So
Okay, so about an
another
hour
2
and
laps
40.
maybe.
Yeah.
Bucky,
yeah.
Bucky just, I don't know if he's driving defensively, doesn't want anybody to get to his inside,
Yeah,
but that's
that
put
may be
him
possible.
on the wrong
Yep.
end of this turn. Now he's stuck on the outside, and we've seen the outside will not win into the first turn at the top of the mountain. So Bucky's defensive move has cost him here, and it's potentially going to cost him at least 2 spots. You see the battle behind. Now you just cannot carry that speed around the outside. But luckily for Bucky, Potato pulled in and thought maybe he could carry the speed around the outside. It did not.
He seems like he finds his way to the front in all these races.
Potato?
Jurg.
Jurg. Yeah, Jurg is up front leading. So far, he has found himself up front in a lot of races. Now, he has wrecked out of a few races as well, so he's not necessarily doing the best in the overall standings. Trick Dickel to the inside, able to make the pass on El Guapo. El Guapo got stuck to the outside. You know, for being AI drivers, they don't seem to be able to learn that you do not want to be on the outside heading into the first turn at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, there's still some learning needs to be done. Like I said, iRacing's coming. They're coming around. They're getting them out there. And I've practiced with some AI, especially if I'm about to do an endurance race or messing around some road racing, and it's not that bad when you're out there with them. So it's still pretty good.
I haven't done the adaptive AI at all. Have you tried that out?
Yeah, that's more just to keep. If you just want to get out there and make sure you're not turning them too low to where you just run away from them. But at the same time, you don't want to turn them too high where you can't compete. So it just gives it away. And I found out if you turn them on really hard, you're just going to be back there in the back part of the pack, but at least that you'll race with somebody, no matter what, if you use it. And if you put it on medium, it just feels like it makes sure you're in the middle part of the pack. And low, you're just going to be up front, but they'll still compete with you. So it's pretty good tool if all you're doing is just trying to get some laps in and learn around the traffic.
Gotcha. Dusty Dwayne able to make the pass on Handy Slider there. That moves Dirty Dwayne up to 8th place. I say up to because we missed it, but he gave up. He was down at 10th, has made up a couple spots. Still able to run at the back of this lead pack here. He's only 4.7 seconds back from the leader. His strategy, he said, was to wait for these leaders to crash. It has not happened yet. Bucky Goldstein once again looking to make a move, but this time to the inside. Cannot get to the rear quarter panel of Potato. Falls back in line. Duke Silver, Colby Tucker. Colby stuck on the outside. We know how that's going to turn out. With Colby Tucker losing 2 spots, falling into 6th. Maybe more. He has the inside here. He's able to make it stick, get one of those spots back. Colby Tucker in 5th place.
Well, we don't see anybody just diving off into pit road, and that would be your 2-stop strategy if they were going to stick exactly to it. Now you question, can they go on just 1 stop? Which that would be at an hour 20 to go.
Yeah, this is going to be the telling the tale here, because we are at 52. We're at 51 minutes now. We're going to be 52 minutes in. So let's see if these leaders pit. If they can turn one more lap, then they're good on a 2-pit strategy. If they come in this lap, I am not sure that they can make it. They'll have to stretch 1 extra lap somewhere. So let's see what these guys do.
And sometime you look at it and you're like, well, I know I can't make it on 1 stop, but I can on 2. So you kind of have a window. You know, you don't have to pit at that spot, but you seem like if it was easy to make, you'd see some guys just go ahead and peeling off, get in there, get some fresh air. I'm still looking at Hunt back there just to see where he's going to end up, because he's the only one doing this 3-stop. But I think just the amount of time he was on pit road, you just lose way too much time doing a 3-stop. So I'm going to say that less pit stops, the better.
Nobody pit from that lead group. Generally speaking, I agree with you. Less pit stops, better. But I will say that Mike Hunt, other than the two up front, is, again, faster than most all the field. So if he maybe is still planning on two-stopping, but went right as early as he possibly could, I don't know. But it could be that is his strategy. He is also going to two-stop, but he went at the earliest time.
Yeah. Yeah, if the window's that big, I guess he could possibly do that.
Well, these TCRs are crazy in terms of fuel. I know that they can go a long ways with those little motors. Trick Dickel here trying to make a move on El Guapo. Looks like Trick is on the inside, El Guapo on the outside. Once again, we know how this is going to turn out. El Guapo on the outside's probably not going to be able to make it stick on the outside of this turn. No, goes wide and loses 2 spots. Boy, it is costly to be on the wrong side of the first turn on the top of the mountain.
You think they've learned, just don't even try to pass noise water because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, you're still right, still leading. Not going to happen, but you're 34 seconds behind the leader now.
What that car needs is a sponsor. If it had a sponsor, it'd be that budget. He'd be a little quicker right now, but he's doing what he can with it.
Yeah.
We're a new team.
Have a little more money to put into the car.
Yeah.
We have not really, we've covered the incidents, Potator trying to make a move on Jurg. We've covered the incidents so far. We've had just the couple, 2 or 3 incidents. It's been a relatively clean race for Bathurst. That's unusual.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, like I said, this is one of those complicated tracks, and what you find, you'd think a complicated track would cause more crashes, but I feel like the drivers are always a lot more focused on the track instead of each other, and it ends up being a clean race in a weird way. It's kind of like racing at Darlington or some of those tracks that are just a little slick. If you have the temperature real high and everybody's just trying to get by.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's what happens in these places.
And we haven't seen, I mean, other than the turn, coming into the turn at the top of the mountain, haven't seen necessarily a lot of real battles, which means these drivers could be in a rhythm. I know for me, if I can get in a rhythm and not disrupt my rhythm, I feel like I can drive for an hour very clean. But once my rhythm gets disrupted, it's all bets are off.
Right. Now, is there a chance of rain out here?
No. For this race, we did not. I was a little concerned. So we did some testing at Indianapolis in the rain, and it was just I forget. I think it was Indianapolis because that was one we weren't excuse me. That's a track we're not racing in Indianapolis Road. So I did some testing with the road cars at Indianapolis Road in the rain, and basically over half the field had crashed out by lap 10. So because of that, I thought with this particular track, rain would not be good. So there's no rain in the forecast.
Yeah. Well, you can tell they use they model the AI after the real life drivers out there, because that's what it feels like. I don't know what, when the iRace introduced rain, they made sure every special event had rain and not just little drizzle. They had monsoon, so
yes,
you were racing in paddle boats. But I guess that's what they do. They say, well, let's see how many people actually wreck, and they all do. So maybe that's what iRacing does.
Yeah. So we had a 30% chance of rain in all of our road races to date, and interestingly enough, it did not rain in any of them, even with a 30% chance of rain.
Here we go, a little battle.
Potator trying to make a move on Jurg, or Jurg being defensive. I don't know, but now we're single file. Let's see if it holds up the hill. That's Duke Silver in the background, looking like he's out of line, but he's almost a second back from these top three. Potator trying to make a move around the outside. Let's see if Bucky Goldstein's smart enough to stick to the inside. Potator the outside, Bucky to the inside. We know how that ends. Bucky Goldstein into second place, Potator into third. It's like we can predict what's going to happen, guys. They don't seem to be learning. Scott, whoa, we have a pit. Scott Negus into the pits out of, I believe he was somewhere around 16th, 17th. We also had something here. I don't know. Let's go back and look at Abel. I don't know if it was a wreck or if he just checked up for the pits. He has a meatball. Oh, off track, just over drove the first turn. Did not make the corner.
Left front was damaged.
Yeah.
That wheel was moving around.
Yeah, he has a meatball. He's going to drive around. Let's go live and watch everybody. Yeah, he's on the apron. No, that's him. That's the 9 car. He's basically trying to limp back to the pits. Let's trying to hang close to that wall. We've got more cars coming. See if they're able to get around.
This is where some big stack-ups could happen for sure.
Oh, hits the wall again.
Wall.
Yeah, that last hit was too much. He is towing. That was a little too optimistic of an entry into turn 1. So a belt tows, number 9 Audi. We do have another car in the pits. Nobody is pit. We have not seen a big group here pitting for fuel yet. So these cars are still trudging along. We are at the 1 hour mark. Let's see if they can make it 20 more minutes and make this a one-stop race. Parker B looking to try and make the move. No, gets back in line. He knows what happens if he goes to the outside on that first corner of the mountain. Battle for 12th place. Back in line, single file. Everybody's very optimistic. Doc is still leading this group. Everybody tries to make a move past him. Gets to the side one way or another, but cannot make it stick. Like you, I'm very anxious to see where Doc comes out in relation to Mike Hunt once we get our pit cycle done.
Running, but then he's going to be on the older tire. So, you know, that's why you can do whatever you got to do sometime and just be different on strategy and just see what happens.
Yeah,
sometimes you don't know and just try see where you come out.
Yeah, I mean, Mike is faster than the entire field. I think Dusty Dwayne was faster and Bucky Goldstein, but those were probably draft. But I mean, he's faster than every car but 2 in the field his last lap. So he is definitely putting in some laps, and you can see that counter to the lead. He's a minute 54 back. He had to pit for a minute, but it is getting smaller all the time. So let's see where we need to see where he comes out in relation to Doc after he pits, and whether or not he's going to have to pit one more time than Doc. Bucky Goldstein to the inside, looking to battle for the lead. This is not going to work. And he gets back in line. Meanwhile, Duke Silver takes over third place from Potator. Dusty Dwayne and Dirty Dwayne battling it out. Dirty Dwayne tired of just watching these guys in front, looking to try and make a move. Not sure which one's on the inside. Looks like Dirty Dwayne was on the inside, but couldn't get to the quarter. Dusty Dwayne able to get in front of Dirty Dwayne on entry. just over 1 hour into this 2-hour, 40-minute race. All the passing seems to be between turn 1 and up the mountain. Seems like if you can get to the right, to the inside on entry of this corner, you will complete that pass. Trick Dickel there, able to complete the pass on 96 Sir Spin-A-Lot, and Sir Spin-A-Lot loses 2 places. Looking at maybe 3 places, he's got the inside on this corner, able to get ahead and go back to single file. Up front in the top 10, Jurg up 6 places with the lead, followed by Bucky Goldstein up 2 places. Duke Silver started in 3rd, holding in 3rd. Potator up 5. Big drop is Dusty Dwayne down 7 spots into 8th place. Dirty Dwayne's down 3 in 9th place, but up from his worst position in the race. Other big movers, Lone Star, Ricky Hyde, both up 9 spots. Chris Lamb up 9 spots there around that 16th, 17th spot.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Pit cycles are coming. There we go.
Oh, all right. So, yeah, I mean, maybe they're just in their window. Are we pitting twice here, or is this just say, hey, let's go from here and get to the leader?
Yeah, so there's no way, surely there's no way they can make it from here to the end. They're just over an hour in, which means they will likely have to pit one more time. Mike Hunt is going to have to pit one more time based on this cycle where he was. So Mike may just be employing a completely different strategy.
Yeah, let's see if this next group comes in. If they do, then
Doc comes in.
Okay, so I take back everything I said. We're just slow.
But Trick,
slow today.
Well, yeah, that looks like it now. Now Trick Dickel did not come in. Sir Spin-A-Lot did not come in.
A couple of guys to keep in mind then. Take a note of Dickel and Spin-A-Lot and just see if they just stayed out of lap. And even if they just stay out of lap, just not be in the pack coming in, you can gain a lot of time just not having people around you.
Trick Dickel, Sir Spin-A-Lot, they're your leaders. They have not pit. Everybody else, almost everybody else is pit. Let's go to our leader, Jurg. He comes out in the lead. Potator in 2nd, Bucky in 3rd, Duke Silver, followed by Parker B, Clean Dwayne, Colby Tucker, Dusty Dwayne. Where is Dirty Dwayne? Now in 16th place. Down, Dirty Dwayne's down 10 spots. Dirty Dwayne had a 1 minute 7-second pit compared to most everybody else with about a 43-second pit. Dirty Dwayne has had this issue in the past where his pits seem to run longer than most everybody else. I don't know if he had some damage or just needs to hire some new crew.
Well, was he the Dwayne that got spun out?
I don't recall off the top of my head. I think he might have. He might have had a little damage.
And I'm looking at Hunt, seeing where he came out. I mean, I think he's actually behind Noisewater right now.
He is. He is. Looks like he's about 10 seconds back. So that strategy did not work.
Yeah. And maybe, he pitted so oddly that maybe he bumped the wall and they repaired some damage,
So
track, a lot of things can happen.
Yeah, so Mike had a over 1 minute pit time. He had 1 minute 7 seconds in the pits. Most every other car was about 45 seconds. So he actually was almost 20 seconds longer in the pits, and he's only back by 10 seconds. So he's definitely making up time on the track. The question is, why was he in the pits so long? Meanwhile,
and now here comes Dickel.
Yep. Spin-A-Lot and Dickel both pit.
Spin-A-Lot.
Here comes Jurg. He is going to, he's going to pass these guys easily. They've just now reached their pits. They're going to be in their pits for another 30 seconds.
Which they weren't right there with those guys anyway, but just kind of see the net gain or loss here from that. So
it looks like we've completed our first pit cycle. Jurg in the lead, followed by Potator, Bucky Goldstein. Then there's a little bit of a gap to Duke Silver, Parker B, Clean Dwayne, Colby Tucker, Dusty Dwayne. These cars are all spread out. Let's see if they come together as we move along. Dirty Dwayne passing kind of all by himself out here. As I said, he had that over 1 minute pit. Now 30 seconds back from the leader. So before the pit cycle, top 10 were within about 10 seconds of each other. Top 7 are now within 10 seconds. 8th place, 11 seconds. 9th, 20 and 27 seconds for 10th. So those pits really split people up. We've had a couple incidents here with cars. Let's go first. Colby Tucker, who we saw leading a lot of this race, coming down the hill really hard into the corner. Not a big deal. Just gets a little off track into the dirt. That's not going to hurt him too much. Maybe lose a little bit of momentum. Celesta Rivaderci had an incident here coming down into the last corner. Little help from the car inside. I'm not sure who that was, but Celeste goes around. Doesn't look like a lot of damage to that car, but Celeste is going to have to wait for cars to pass. That's going to drop Celeste here back on the track, back moving down to 30th place. Back to our leaders. Spread out a little bit. Let's see if we can close those gaps over time. Potator with the fastest lap last time around. Let's see as we come to the start-finish what those lap times are. Potator, yeah, able to make up a quarter of a second on Jurg that last lap and pulling away from Bucky Goldstein. So you can see on the track map. Go ahead.
I've watched, Jurg and what Potator did, he win last week. So these guys they've got the stats pushed to exactly where it needs to be. It seems like they're doing well on all facets here.
Yeah, consistently we're seeing Jurg up front, Potator up front, Dirty Dwayne's. Yeah, Duke Silver as well. Duke is the one that always surprises you. Seems like he doesn't qualify as well, although he qualified third this time, but then comes out of nowhere at the end. Dirty Dwayne really runs well. He'll almost guaranteed be in the top 5 at some point in the race, but just seems to have either bad luck or bad pits or bad something happen and just can't maintain that top 5 pace. You can see on the track map, pretty well that pit cycle's pretty well split the field up. We've got the gap from 1st to 8th is now 11 seconds and just gaps all over the place, little clusters.
It's interesting how that happens. Everybody's kind of in packs, and then you go through a pit stop. Everybody looks like they have the same stop. Maybe a lap or two different here and there, but then when they get back on the racetrack, it's just like you're almost a lap down, and it's just all about being smooth in and out. I tell guys, even when our OBRL league, it's like sometimes you're worrying about a tenth on a racetrack. Just practice coming in on and off pit road.
Absolutely.
So that right there that will make up all your tenths or half a tenth here and there that you make up during the run. So
I lose more than a tenth or two.
Yeah.
So Dirty Dwayne said he's got his PCS at 70 or 65, and I haven't looked. I don't doubt that, but I'm telling you, man, I've got mine at 90. You got to have a good pit crew if you don't want to lose time in the pits.
Yeah, that was one thing I looked at when I was putting my stats in. I was like, well, pit crew, especially on AI when everybody's overall is going to be pretty close. You could make up a few seconds in the pit. That could be the difference.
Yep. And we also don't know, Dwayne, whether you had some damage from an earlier incident that you got fixed. That is one thing, it seems to me, these AI, if you get a scratch, they want to get that buffed out before they go back on track. They don't believe in driving a damaged car. That's one thing. It would be nice if iRacing could do two things, I guess. It'd be nice for us, not AI drivers, if we could tell our pit crew what we wanted them to fix when we come in the pits, but then also for the AI drivers to, if you're on pace, don't get stuff fixed.
Yeah, I was an example of that a couple Sundays ago, racing an OBRL. I got crashed, and it damaged it, but honestly, I felt like it did something to help me, help me rotate in the corner. So sometimes a little damage is good.
Absolutely. I've been known to hit a wall and be able to turn a little bit better. All right, we are just under 6 minutes to halfway. We're 6 minutes to halfway in this race. We've seen one pit cycle. We're going to see another. The racing's been really clean. We've had a couple of incidents, a couple of car contacts, a couple of spins, nothing significant. No rain in the forecast. Not huge movement in the cars. We've got Jurg up 6 spots to the lead, Potator up 7 into second. Kind of third through 6th, they're all within a few spots of where they started. Colby Tucker down 5. We saw where he did have that off track. May have cost him a little bit of time. Potator challenging for the lead here. Not going to make it stick. Lone Star, Ricky Hyde, Chris Lum, all up 10 spots in that 15, 16, 17th place. So we're seeing, interestingly enough, we've got some of these drivers, these 300 drivers in that 16th, 17th, 19th spot ahead of our other drivers. Those 300 drivers have their relative speed set at, or relative skill set at 65, so it's pretty low. So we're starting to see where, in the long run, consistency will gain you spots. It's not going to get you to the lead, but it's going to gain you significant spots in a race.
Yeah, especially at this point on when the field has strung out a little bit. You're not just bound up, in a pack of 5 where, like we've seen, you make a move, you lose 4. You're really not gaining anything. But now that it's spread out, maybe some guy that was stuck in, say, 18th, who's got a little bit of speed, he could really start to, from this point out, really start making up some ground.
So a little bit of a development here, Doc. We've got Mike Hunt within 2 seconds of Doc and turning some really fast laps. He was almost 2.5 seconds faster than Doc last lap. So Mike Hunt has some real speed.
Yeah, he does. And I tell you one thing too I was thinking about. I know with the GT cars, when, we talked about tires earlier, but the tires, they kind of level out, but you can actually burn some fuel and make it lighter, and you actually run faster lap times later in the run. So that alternate strategy he did, go ahead, get some fuel in it. Now he's a little less fuel in the car, got some clean air, and then you're following Noisewater here, who's got a full tank. So could play a little bit of role in his strategy.
So a little Monday morning quarterback here. He spent 20 seconds longer than everybody in the pits. He is 50 seconds back from the leader. If we took 20 seconds off that, he would be up there with Dirty Dwayne battling for 11th and almost 20 seconds ahead of Doc. I mean, Doc, he's closed almost a second and a half just since we watched. So he's going to catch Doc real quick. The question is, can he make this pass? And he's not wasting any time attempting to make the pass.
But see right there, it doesn't work, and now you're bound up again. But see, here's the thing too: if it goes the way we think, he's going to have to make an extra pit stop, and it doesn't matter. You can be 20 seconds quicker, but that pit stop, you're in the pits for over a minute. You're just not going to gain that on the racetrack.
I don't know that is correct. Let's do some math here. So you can do about 28 laps on a stint, roughly. We're going to turn about 71 laps. So 71 minus 28 is 43. So the question is, can he make it to lap 43? That's 6, 7, 8, 9 more laps. He's on 17. That's 26 laps. So no, he only needs to pit one more time. He is on a completely different time frame, but he's on the same pit strategy.
Okay, so if he did do that,
Oh,
that
he
works. He's still
slings
loose
it.
though. But that's what I mean. If these were ghost cars, you know, he would already been through
Right.
here. If this was just a time race, but the track position just means way too much. So, and we haven't seen anybody past 27,
Yeah.
just on the racetrack alone. So, you know, again, it's fun to do something different. If I'm in this race, I say, hey, let's get in a window, let's do it. Let's do it. See what happens. Have some fun. Pass a few when you can. Make up some ground. But when it gets down to it, you're kind of stuck. But if he's only got to pit once, and so does everybody else, like I said, we threw that out there. We thought maybe he was just getting early pit out of the way.
Yep.
And see what happens. So
I really,
it's fun.
Yeah, it is, and I really like his strategy. And his issue isn't anything other than he spent that extra 20 seconds in the pits, and we don't know why. If it were not for that, he would be up there in 11th place, and he was almost a second faster than Bucky Goldstein in third place last lap. So, I mean, he very well could be there at the end contending for a win if he could get past these cars, these lap traffic cars. Let's go back and look at Chris. Chris, number 310, had an off track here coming into turn 1. Oh, just overdrove it. You could see him trying to get on those binders into the entry. Doesn't look like he hit anything. He's just going to lose a little bit of time to get back and running. Luke B in the pits. Not sure if that was scheduled pit stop or an incident. I don't see anything on track, but Luke B is in the pits. So they're going to need to make it about to lap 43 in order to have just one pit. So Luke B is in the pits now. He's going to have to pit twice to finish this race. Let's see how long he's in the pits for, see if that's damage or something else. But if they can make it to lap 43, they should be golden for one more pit. You get stuck on the outside and you're not going to pass anybody.
Did these cars start out with a full tank?
Yes. Well,
and that's a guarantee.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that. I don't know. I didn't check. Again, I probably didn't do my research. They all have the same fuel. I don't know if it's completely full or partially full.
Yeah.
I think it's completely full, but I don't know that for a fact.
Because that's something if that was an option, you could throw that in your strategy. If you're that much faster with less fuel in it, start out low, pit early, kind of like we talked about with Hunt, and just see if you can make it up on speed.
Yep. Potato trying to make a pass on Bucky Goldstein, did not get it made, so you've got your Bucky Poe in line. But this is Chris Wald up here in the Honda, a lap car, as these three cars battling for the lead come up on this lap car. Let's see what Chris does, whether he pulls over, lets him go. Oh, that's not going to work around the outside. We've seen that tried many times, have not seen it succeed yet. Jurg leading this top three cars up to this lap car.
And it looks like Hunt did get around Noisewater, so the history's been made.
What happened to the team rules?
Yeah, I know. We're going to talk. There's going to be a meeting afterward. The Hyundai's got to work together.
Chris with pretty good pace. Just under a second in front of these guys, able to... He's losing a little bit of it, but able to maintain for the most part. Let's see if this draft on the downhill really helps out the lead group. We still have 31 cars on the lead lap and over an hour in. That's pretty good. We've had a lot of cases where cars would go laps down 20 minutes into a race. We've really been able to bring this group together by setting our overall ratings a little closer. They're not making any pace on Chris Wald there at the end of the lead lap. I'm sure he wants to stay on that lead lap in the event of a caution. He doesn't know that there won't be one.
Now you have the power, don't you? You could throw a yellow theoretically here.
Yes, I could. But it's not in the rules. Bucky Goldstein looking to the inside. This is not going to happen. Chris Wald able to expand his lead up over a second, not giving up to these leaders, trying to stay on the lead lap. Colby Tucker battling there for 6th place. Back in line, not making the pass. Dusty Dwayne looking to try and make it happen on the outside. It doesn't happen. He thinks better of it, gets in line, keep that momentum up.
Now,
So-
what was the thought behind putting the made-up names?
Oh, you can, any name you want to use, you're welcome to use in this league. So I just thought, everybody's got their own different handle in Discord. We'd let everybody pick their names for the racing here.
Even if 3 people are named Dwayne.
Well, so, the story, there's some people that don't. So Dwayne put his name in first. He put it in as Dirty Dwayne. Then Mr. Mark Fish came in and, he's always got to be a protagonist. So he put in Clean Dwayne because he wanted to battle Dirty Dwayne. And then a friend of mine saw that happen and just thought he'd be funny and put in Dusty Dwayne.
Dusty Dwayne, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of in between clean and dirty.
I'm watching these lap cars here. I know I brought that up now here, but I noticed they're flashing their lights at them.
Yes. Yeah,
It's an interesting concept, flashing the lights. It's almost like, oh, you're going to flash your lights? I'm going to make it that much harder now.
Yep, I'm with you. You flash your lights at me. Now, if you're an LMP and I'm a GT3 and you're, making the pass and flashing, okay, you're just telling me you're there. But if you're in my same class and we're battling for position and you flash your lights, I'm going to make it as absolutely hard as I can. Even if you're the leader, if you flash them where you're like a lap or 2 before passing me, I'm going to make it hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that if there is a sit down like this is how we use this. But yeah, I do think a lot of people just come up on you right away and they got that flashlight and they can't wait to use it.
Yeah.
And of course you're in their way if you're on the racetrack a lot of times.
Oh yeah. So Jurg got, I apologize, I missed it. Jurg got past Chris and has broken out to a half-second lead over Chris. Bucky, in the meantime, as you see here, that's Jurg. So let's go back to Bucky. There's Bucky stuck behind Chris, watching Jurg drive off.
Yeah, the lap traffic, it always, hampers the situation of what will go on. You see the flash of those lights.
Yeah. Chris, we're Team Honda, brother. Move over. Let me go.
But this tells the tale too, though. If eventually he will get by him, and then you see, can he just pull right back up? If he does, that says, yeah, I am faster than Yerg. But if he's not, and Yerg just maintains, then we see that it was just the only reason he was there. Maybe he was does fine in the mountain, but then when you get on the straightaway, he's what little draft there is, maybe that was all that was keeping him there.
Yep.
So I don't know. It just this has a way of getting the gaps on the field and seeing how it goes.
Yeah, Yerg's still pulling away. Potato right on Bucky's rear end here. Poe's going to probably get a little, yeah, I was going to say, get a little anxious here, having to sit behind Bucky and watching the leader drive away. They're not going to make a pass here, but Yerg was 3/4 of a second faster than Bucky Goldstein that last lap, with Bucky stuck in traffic. Yerg now with clean air and just driving away. I'm telling you, they need to put a horn in iRacing, not just flashing lights. Let's put a horn in there. What do you think?
I don't know. I think the chat is more than we need sometimes. Especially when you're in like an official lobby or doing one of the special events. If anybody's done the 24-hour races, especially at 3 in the morning, and people are losing their minds. So, yeah, I have a quick volume button for those situations.
Absolutely. Let's see. We did have an off-track Zype, the 37 car. Oh, once again into turn 1. Little optimistic. No damage. Lost a spot. Able to trug on. Turn 1, late in the run, seems to be a little difficult for cars to get slowed down for.
Yeah, turn 1, it does that to me. Even in this race, I remember it's a simple 90 degree. I don't know if it's maybe slightly downhill or maybe that 90 degree, sometimes we think 90 degree corners, but they're really not when we're in racing. But that is an actual full out 90 degrees. I think it's just a little sharper than you intend a lot of times.
So a little bit on kind of your comment earlier about get past and see where you fall out. Mike Hunt able to build on almost 7-second gap to Doc, and fastest car on track.
That's interesting.
He is 22 laps into his stint. Everybody else is 10 laps into their stint, and he is turning the fastest laps on the track.
But if he pits from now, if you pit now, you can make it to the end. Is that what we said?
Yes, yeah. The problem he's going to have, so everybody, we are on lap 39. 43 is kind of the cutoff, 43, 44. So, and everybody should be able to make it there. So everybody has one pit left. The problem Mike's going to have is he is going to need more fuel than everybody to make it.
Right.
So he's going to spend longer in the pits. His biggest detriment was not necessarily when he pit. It was the fact that he spent 20 seconds extra in the pits. If you dropped him 20 seconds off where he is, he'd be in 10th place, which, still roughly 28 seconds behind the leader. But, he would be significantly up from where he was next to Doc or behind Doc, pitting in 13th when he went to pit. And once again, this time, fastest lap on the track, faster than the leaders by almost a second, faster than second and third by a second and a half. Bucky Goldstein here still. Oh, Bucky finally got around Chris Wald. Potato did as well. So Yerg is 2.6 seconds ahead. Let's see if they can make up that time. Last lap, they were slower than Yerg, but I don't know when they made it around Chris. So let's see this lap, when we have a clean lap, if they are able to make up some time on the leader.
Yeah, and I still, going back to Hunt, I feel like it's just he's got less fuel in the car right now.
Yep.
And that's what's making him fast.
And that's like I say, though, he has one pit just like everybody else, but he's going to need more fuel to fill up because he's going to have to make it more laps than they are, because he's going to have to pit before everybody else. So that's going to cost him. overall, I think his strategy was good. I think he just got hurt by the extra 20 seconds in the pits.
Yeah, and that's probably why he short pitted anyway.
Yeah, if he
Probably
had
had some
damage.
damage.
Yep.
Yeah, so. But it's something you learn from. If I had committed to a league of these cars, I'd say, wow, you're way faster on less fuel. I'm going to strategize around that now.
And way faster in clean air where you don't have to deal with traffic. And isn't that true? It doesn't matter whether it's oval road or, obviously not on a drafting track, but
Right.
there's a lot of times where I will pit early just to get out of traffic. I will schedule my pit stop based on traffic, not based on necessarily on when I run out of fuel.
And that's the fun thing about road racing. If you allow yourself to get in, if you're an oval guy, which I don't know with this group that everybody's participating in this, if they're mostly oval racers or if there's some road racers in here, but sometimes if people get in road racing, they don't want to do it because it's a lot of follow the leader. Yeah, there's a few setup passes, but you're not going to go 3 wide most of the time and have those kind of battles. But what we've been sitting here talking about is this strategy game, the fun of back and forth. And even though I'm out on the track by myself for a certain amount of time, you're racing the clock because you know where it's going to land you later on in that race. So it could be a lot of fun.
How about that view right there? The
Yeah,
underground
that's
view.
interesting.
I think I got my chopper set a little too low.
That's that old gopher cam.
Yeah, I was trying to set it for a drone cam like this here, but up in the hills, up in the mountains, it goes a little underground.
Now I got some hometowns of some of these drivers, so we can connect with them. Jurg, he is from Willow Bend, Oregon. The Willow
Ducks.
Bend, Oregon native.
Yeah.
Jurg.
So Jurg is a guy I know from some old oval leagues that
Okay.
I used to race with and haven't raced with for a while, but saw my post obviously and came to join us.
All right. He's been doing pretty good. Bucky Goldstein, of course, from Crimson Hollow, Kentucky.
No, Bucky's from St. Louis. Where are you getting your
St. Louis.
information?
Okay. I'm just making these up.
Oh, okay.
Poe Tater, he's from Rustwater, West Virginia.
Poe's a road and oval guy, and this you can see from in the car how loose he gets trying to make it around the outside here. He's an oval guy from some other leagues. He'd love to race in the OBRL, but he's not old enough.
Well, he'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, you don't get any younger.
So Bucky is not able to make up any time on Jurg. Now 3.8 seconds back. Jurg just driving away. It's interesting.
And all he needed was that lap car.
Yeah.
To give him that little breathing room.
Yeah.
And in real life too, that's what happens. Maybe you get pressured, and it's just seeing him in your mirror, or seeing him in your relative that close. Even if he told you like I'm going to ride right now, it's just something about it, a distraction. But you get a little gap and you relax a little, and relaxing a lot of times just slowing that heart rate, taking a breath, and next thing you know you're 2/10 faster a lap.
Yeah, I think the most frustrating part about racing for me is when I'm behind somebody that I know I'm faster than, but not hugely faster, just barely incrementally. But I know I can drive away from them if I can get in front of them, but I have to go off my line to make that pass because they're taking the driving line. And if you go in turn one, I go off my line and make that pass, they're going to have the edge on exit. And it seems like they always want to battle you back and take that spot back, and yet the two of you just end up slower for 5 laps. Whereas if that driver would just let you go and follow, then you both would be faster. And I guess it's easy to say nobody wants to give up a position, but man, if the guy catches me from 3 seconds back and catches me, I know he's faster. I'm not going to give him the spot, but once he gets positioned, you take the spot and go, I want to fall in behind you, and we'll both be faster.
Yeah, easier said than done. And sometimes you give and take, and you think, well, I'm giving up here to see a little battle. That Dusty Dwayne.
That's Dirty Dwayne, Dirty Dwayne and Handy Slider.
Handy Slider, okay. A little battle going on there. But yeah, the give and take, I've been there many times. I'll give up. I'll go ahead. You got me. And then as the run goes along, the tires, and now quicker on the long run, I catch them, and now all of a sudden they're racing you like it's the last lap, you know, and it's frustrating. So then all of a sudden you're like, well, I can't do that no more, and you're kind of put in a spot where you're running harder than you want to. But essentially, if it ends up biting you, and you know, mess up in that one corner, you know, then you're like, well, I should have give up those 2 spots in that time, even if they don't give it back to me. And so it's a racecraft thing that you got to learn, and you just do the best you can each and every race.
Absolutely. That's Zype Pit, the number 37 Audi of Zype. So that's at the 43 lap, at the 42 going to 43 lap mark. That's right at the edge, I think. Well, we got about 1 hour left, so they should be good. So that'll be Zype's last pit stop. He's the first one to make the last pit stop.
All right, that's Zype. He's from Silver Creek, Idaho.
What's in Silver Creek? Anything?
Zype. Yeah,
Zype's Auto Wreckage. Yep. Jurg with a up 6 spots into the lead. We've seen him. We've got another car coming in the pits. That's Jurg. Jurg, our leader in the pits. Now, like I say, we are right at that mark. I am 90. We got just over 1 hour left. I am 99% sure they can make it, but I'm not 100%. So this will be close. We got Jurg and Duke Silver both pitting. Everybody else so far staying out. Colby Tucker pitting. Let's see as they come around. This is right at that mark. Potato looking to make a pass for the lead. There's no bonus points for leading a lap, but maybe he feels like if he can get ahead. Not going to happen on the outside.
Yeah. And through all this, here's what's interesting is Hunt has still only pitted once, and that was on lap 16.
Right.
And so these guys are just, the window's pretty wide, apparently.
Yes.
That they're just deciding to turn it into 2 stops.
Yeah, because Mike Hunt stayed out. Here he is on track. He did stay out. He is definitely going to be okay. But he's going to have that longer pit stop like we talked about. So we've started our cycle. It was Colby Tucker and Handy Slider, Duke Silver, Jurg, who all pit this first cycle. Let's watch Bucky Goldstein here as we come around, see if they pit this lap. So Jurg had a 25-second pit. Duke Silver, 45 seconds. Colby, 46 seconds. Handy Slider, 47 seconds. Jurg was able to come out with 25-second pit time. I don't know if that's, again, just not getting repairs, getting less fuel, or if the others had some damage. But those 40-second pits are killer. I don't see, I mean, we ran 28 laps. Let's do some math here. So we ran 28 laps on an average lap. I don't have a lap time. So I don't know. Can't do it. I was going to do some math here to see if, I'm wondering if Jurg got enough fuel to make it in 24. Maybe he got fuel only, no tires. Mike Hunt side by side battling for 8th spot with Jurg. Mike is going to need to pit at least once. Jurg does not. So Jurg pit came out in 9th place. Here, speak of it, Mike Hunt in the pits.
Yeah, go. So he went a long time. That's the longest we've seen anybody.
Yeah, let's see how long he spends in the pits. He's going to need more fuel. Meanwhile, Potator and Clean Dwayne battling for position. Side by side up through the mountain. It seems to me they're getting a little more aggressive here and not wanting to give up position. Doc's gonna do another lap. Didn't pit. We did have Mike Hunt pit. He's the only one to pit this lap so far. Doc's out here all by himself, just turning laps in a rhythm. Behind him, Lone Star and Duke Silver battling for position. This is for 11th place. Meanwhile, the leaders up front coming down the hill. Let's see if they pit this time.
I'd say they'd start pouring in to the pits, but looks like they're not. So
No.
the strategy just keeps changing.
It's hard to predict when you don't have information, huh?
You just have no idea, but we're doing the best we can with it. But yeah, I just wonder, when I say he pit on lap 16 and made it to now, and maybe that was a full run, but you just wonder if, what. I wish I knew what a full tank would do, an actual full tank, not just
Right.
getting into a window.
Right. So
And
let's.
I don't think any driver did that. They all made sure they did it.
Yeah. So Mike was in the pits for 43 seconds. So it's basically 4 tires and fuel, I'm going to assume, because almost everybody's been around that. So the only odd one out so far is Jurg with his 24-second pit. Let's see what Jurg is doing here. So Jurg, don't know if he took tires or not. He was about 0.2 faster than the leader last lap, green to most of the field, running by himself. Remember, he had carved out about a 3 or 4 second lead ahead of Bucky Goldstein. Bucky still has to pit. I'll be very curious when these top 5 pit, whether they have 24s, 25-second pits, or if they have 40-second pits.
It sounds like if it's that much quicker, it's just fuel only. I don't know how the pit stops are. I know in some of them you're changing tires and fuel at the same time, and then other series you can only do like fuel
Right.
by itself. It looks like when they come down pit road they're doing it, but I think he's just getting just enough fuel in the car. Don't worry about the tires, so it's going to be quicker instead of sitting there and filling the whole tank up.
Yep, I think you're right. I don't recall whether these do tires and fuel at the same time. I know they're capable of it. It is very series specific.
Clean Dwayne, though, he's right there with Goldstein. Clean Dwayne, he's from Echo Ridge, New Mexico. Apparently the car is pretty equal, Honda, Audi, and Hyundai.
Once again, Jurg, the first car who does not have to pit. He is 38 seconds behind the leader. So Depending on whether those leaders take just fuel or fuel and tires is going to determine where they come out with respect to Jurg. We have not seen a kangaroo yet.
I was wondering about that. I had a rabbit run out in front of me in Pocono the other night, so just wondering if they had any kangaroo issues here.
Not yet this race. I've seen it in real life, though. I don't know if you saw the last Bathurst race. I don't know if it was the last one or the one before that where they had a kangaroo death count of 1. Really kind of anxious to see this group pit. Clean Dwayne right there on Bucky Goldstein's rear end of his car. Potator, where he's been pretty much all race, just kind of following there. He's made a couple attempts to make a pass. Potator into the pits. Potator's in the pits. I think he is saying, I'm tired of following. I'm not able to make the pass. Let's see if I can, through pit strategy, get ahead. Meanwhile, Clean Dwayne to the inside of Bucky, cannot make the pass, gets back in line. Looking to make the pass on the outside, even if he has momentum. Bucky with a defensive block to the outside. Let's see, Potator was the only one who pit. Let's see how long his pit is and where he comes out with respect to Jurg. They're back to single file. We're going to go to Jurg here. This is Jurg live. You see Potator in the pits. Poe is at the 30-second mark and counting. So,
tires.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Potator still in his box at the 47 seconds. He is pulling out of his box now. This is Jurg all the way up the hill into the corner. Potator 26 seconds back. I'll tell you what, if these other cars pit for full fuel and tires, Jurg is going to have a commanding lead. Clean Dwayne, Bucky Goldstein coming down the hill. Let's see if they come in the pits this time, or if they go another lap.
Well, if I'm Dwayne, I'm going to do the opposite of what Bucky does here.
Nope. They just follow.
Could be the AI statistics there, parameters, but, you know, sometimes you got to think, you got to do something a little different. You know, pit a little early or pit a little late. Don't ride behind them, especially if you know you're faster.
Yeah. Parker B in third. We've not talked a lot about Parker today. Parker is up 2 spots. Always been there in the top 10, but not really battling for the lead, but just maintaining a solid top 5 race. Now in third. Dusty Dwayne in fourth. Dirty Dwayne up to 5th. Meanwhile, we do have 3 cars that have already pit their last pit. That's Jurg, Potator, and Duke Silver.
And I'm looking at so Duke Silver is the closest competitor to Jurg. He has gained a couple of seconds on Jurg since they pitted, but I mean, you're 20 seconds back. You're going to need to be gaining more than that, because it's one thing even if you did add it up and could catch them, you'd see how hard it is to pass. So,
well,
just
we've got
if that made a difference.
Yeah, we've got about roughly 20 to 22 laps. Duke,
That's a second a lap.
yeah, Duke was 1.5 seconds faster last lap. So if he has clean track, he can definitely use those new tires, those fresh tires to catch him. Jurg,
Yeah.
um, I don't have the last lap time. I can add that in next time. But Jurg was faster than the leaders, who may have been battling last lap, but slower than Dirty Dwayne, Trick Dickle, several others. So Jurg's not necessarily showing any huge amount of speed. Those guys that pit and took tires, Potator and Duke Silver. Now Duke was significantly faster than Jurg. Potator,
Yeah.
he was not, but Poe's, that may have been Poe's out lap, 47. So let's give Poe one more lap and see where his time comes out.
Well, just sitting here while you're talking, looking at the relative, just since we brought it up, it's 2 seconds closer. So if that's happening, he's going to have the pace to get to Jurg, because Noisewater's the only one between them, and he's going to have to pit, or at least we assume. And so I mean, it's pretty much clean track. And
Yeah.
just depending on where the others come back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, Duke Silver is the fastest car on track right now. Let's see what happens when he crosses the start-finish line here and see where Potator comes in now that Poe's got his tires up to temp and able to have a race. Now, Poe has a clean track as well, which obviously seems to make a huge difference. Potator coming into the final corner. Let's see where his lap time comes out in relation to the leaders. Potator fastest in the top 10. 0.03 faster than Duke. Not a lot, but a little bit. Over 2 seconds faster than Jurg. So I think what we see, Jurg did not take tires in order for a 20-second advantage. Can these cars make that up? They're obviously fast enough. They're going to have to deal with traffic. Can they make that up? Meanwhile,
Yeah, I think he's going to catch them. It just depends on what you do when you get there, unless the tire situation levels off. That's
right.
the other thing you got to think about.
Yep, I agree with that. Meanwhile, these top 5 cars have not pit yet, which holds them out to be in the lead, which is good. But you kind of wonder if they're planning to take tires, wouldn't they want to go ahead and pit now and use them?
Yeah, well, especially if you're behind somebody. That's what I'm saying. If I was crew chiefing Clean Dwayne here, I'd say let's get in. Let's avoid this. We're not doing anything.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there he comes. All right, so now you're stuck behind them. Maybe you come back out on a clean spot on the racetrack, and now what you were getting held up by being behind Goldstein there. Now you can run your pace.
Let's see how long he spends in the pits. See if he takes tires or just fuel.
But as we've seen, if you can keep less fuel in the car, the faster you are too. But if you're stuck behind somebody, you just got to kind of do what you got to do. But yeah, let's see what he does here.
I don't see the car going up and down. I don't know if, as a spectator, if we'd necessarily see that or not. I would think we would, but I did not see the car move, so I don't know. Oh, that's a lot of rubber up there. I don't know if that's a telltale sign of whether they took tires or not. We'll kind of see what those lap times are. Clean Dwayne in the pits with a 46-second pit. That was Clean Dwayne in there, and he pit 46 seconds, so he probably took tires. He came out with a relatively clean track.
Yeah, but I mean, the guys in front of him are for position, so kind of where he was running. But now he's going to have that much fresh tires than they do, and they should be putting just enough fuel to get in. So I'm the same guys that already pitted him have about the same amount of fuel in the car at this point.
Right. Now, Potater is 7 seconds ahead because he fell out of line and pit and had some clean laps.
Exactly. See, that's the difference.
Yeah, their pit time is within 1 second of each other, yet Potater with a 7-second gap on Clean Dwayne, because Clean Dwayne continued to putt around behind Bucky Goldstein for several laps before finally wanting to pull in. Meanwhile, we've got Dirty Dwayne and Dusty Dwayne, look like teammates here, battling one another, both choosing to stay out. Dirty Dwayne right there behind Dusty Dwayne. Dirty Dwayne in 4th place, Dusty in 3rd.
Yeah, all the Dwaynes kind of been together.
They usually are.
A spot or two, yeah, it's odd, but they continue to battle.
Bucky Goldstein in the lead, got an 8-second gap on Parker B. Dusty Dwayne, Dirty Dwayne, followed by Trick Dickel. Jurg 36 seconds back, but Jurg has already pit. You've got, looking at Jurg's strategy here, you've got Jurg with a 15-second gap over Duke Silver. That number, if I'm not mistaken, was somewhere around 18 or 19 not that long ago.
Yeah, it was even 20, I think, when we first brought it up. So it's come down, but like I said, maybe in 10 laps, we can see if so at some point the tires sort of stabilize, and then it don't matter who's got worn out. Maybe you're not that second quicker a lap anymore. Maybe it's only a half a second,
Yeah.
which could be the difference in whether you're going to catch him or not.
Meanwhile, Doc here, in his usual place, is leading a line of cars that feel like they're faster. One of them is Potater on fresher tires right behind him. Let's see if Poe can, take advantage of that 8-second gap he had over Clean Dwayne. That gap is now down to 5 seconds as Poe has caught Doc and struggles to get past him.
Yeah, if I'm Poe and Clean Dwayne here, or I guess it's Poe that's the one getting held up. Now I'm frustrated because you knew everybody had to pit. You know he's got to pit, Kenneth Noisewater. But, all he's doing is just, you're on track right now. You're just holding up his pace.
Yep.
And
exactly.
So that's the killer. That right there kind of kills what you were doing on strategy. But I think at this point you're battling for 3rd maybe, because you're far enough behind Duke Silver, that's the focus. Jurgen Duke Silver is kind of it, unless somebody surprises us and makes it on fuel for some odd reason.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'd be flashing my lights if I was Poe, or giving him the bumper. Yeah, I understand.
Exactly. But yeah, you're frustrated. You're just like, this is killing me, and especially when you know he's going to have to pit.
Right.
I'd be like, both in Hondas, they should be working together.
They should be. Yeah, I'd be like, just pit, man. You got to pit, get it done. This is our closest battle on track. Oh, no, not going to make it.
He went high, yeah. And this is where the AI, we're watching this. That's where the AI should, the artificial intelligence should be a little more intelligent, and have a little bit more courteousness on the track. Go, I'm on a different strategy. I know you're battling for a top 5 here. I'll at the very least just follow you. Let them have the spot. But you see, it's a defensive line.
Yep.
It's kind of humorous there how they're doing it.
Yep. So Duke Silver, Poe had cut that gap down to 5 seconds, got stuck behind Doc here, and now it's back up to 8 seconds. Clean Dwayne.
Duke Silver with the speed, he's within 13. He's closing it in.
Yep. Clean Dwayne, meanwhile, pit lap 50, the last car pit. And obviously, he was in for 46 seconds on tires. Obviously, new tires do make a difference. He was the fastest car on track by multiple seconds over everybody except Duke Silver. I mean, multiple seconds, anywhere from 1 to 3 to 4 seconds faster than everybody on track. He does have a clean track. He's more than a second behind the car in front, so he doesn't have a draft yet. Oh, he's sliding it around that corner. He is pushing hard. It's really cool to see these cars push. Look at him slide it around up on the top of the mountain. The problem is, then they get to the car in front and they just slow down.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where this is where a group of engineers, they could know exactly when you pit and pretty much know within a few car lengths of where you're going to come out and know if it's beneficial to pit now or wait or hey, you got to push hard here for a lap so we can be ahead of these cars when we come out, stuff like that. So, but you know, when you're just iRacing, you're doing the best you can and you're just kind of praying that when you do pit, you're not going to come out one behind one of these guys. And then, you would assume, like me, I would assume that Noisewater would have pitted at this point already, or even the top 5, or the guys that have. You would just think that they would have made their way in, but they just simply haven't just yet.
Yeah, Bucky Goldstein out here with the lead, 9-second lead. Really just cruising. Jurg is now 37 seconds back, so he is gapping Jurg, who, remember, did not take tires. However, Duke Silver, who did take tires, was about a second faster than Bucky. Now, Duke is 50 seconds back. So, you know, the real issue, what is Bucky going to do? If Bucky is not going to take tires, then you run it dry and come back out and just boogie. If you're going to take tires, I would think he would pit now so he could take advantage of those new tires and not give up track position to the guys with tires that are out right now, because track position is obviously key.
Yeah, tires right now seem to be more important than fuel, the lightness of the fuel. Which we say that, but then Hunt earlier was on the oldest tires and run the fastest time. So I don't know. I think it's just kind of a combination. But I think a lot what's happening now too is they're pitting and getting they're not filling the tank up, so they're putting just enough to get there. So it's not but a few gallons. So I think it's just the actual tires are really beneficial at this point.
Speaking of Mike Hunt, Mike, who we were talking about potentially battling for the lead, is in 25th place, almost a minute 37 behind. Now he pit lap 44, so he will I don't think he'll have to pit again, but he's still 40 seconds behind Jurg. I'm sorry, a minute behind Jurg.
Yeah, and I'm comparing him to like Noisewater, who he was beating, and by the time Noisewater pits, takes tires, Hunt will be out ahead of him too.
Yeah.
So,
we did have
he was just extra car.
Yeah, we did have a incident on track. Richard Robert with a meatball. Let's go back and see what happened to Richard. Looks like the final turn just didn't get on the binders soon enough.
In the tires.
Right into the tires. And toe.
Yep. He's from Silver Creek, Idaho. But what happens too, the track gets so dirty. You know, we hadn't even talked about that, but the marbles are a thing here in iRace now, and if a driver misses, and so that goes back to your smoothness. If you got a low smoothness, maybe early on it was fine, you know, it's whatever, we're fast. But now the cars have laid all this rubber out here, and then you get a little out of line because your smoothness is not there, and you get in the marbles, and it just goes straight.
Potato Clean Dwayne battling for that 9th, 10th position that's going to cycle up when everybody pits. We're back to single file, Clean Dwayne maintaining with Doc, as we talked about, kind of leading this procession. Doc is a very, very wide car. No one seems to be able to get past Doc.
Yeah, that should be a lesson for everybody watching.
Don't try and pass Doc? Is that the
Just
lesson?
Don't even try.
Yeah. Or use the bumper.
Don't even try. That's not going to get you anywhere. But again, I mean, he's got I would be so free. I know it's my car, but I would be very frustrated if I was behind them right now
I would be too,
and already pitted.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the question is, does that mean as an AI driver that Clean Dwayne's aggressiveness is not turned up high enough to
Well,
make
I don't.
the pass?
Like I said, we've seen that, and I don't know. I look at like the stats. You got aggressiveness, but then you also have optimism. So it's like if they kind of go hand in hand. If you're optimistic, that means you're aggressive. Uh, I kind of like to look at it as so. I don't know. We've seen it so many times. If you can be optimistic and aggressive, but they put you in a bad spot in the next corner, and you end up losing spots. Oh, look at this! This is a different spot to make a move. It looked like it may work out here.
I don't know.
Is that Tater?
That is Clean Dwayne and Potator. With Potator
He's
on
on
the
the inside.
inside, he's going to have the edge here. If he can close the door, he does, but
And now, who's that behind him?
that's Clean Dwayne in the back. Luke B is on the inside. He's a lap down. That's
Okay.
the 810 car. So now, this procession. There's Dr. Noisewater, Potator, Clean Dwayne. Once again, Dr. Noisewater continuing to lead this pack.
But, I mean, going back to what's essentially going to be the lead, Silver is within 8 seconds. Now, I mean, he's really close. I thought it would level off, but if anything, it's getting worse for Jurg.
Yeah, and Duke has a clean track. Jurg has a clean track as well, but Duke has a clean track. Duke was a second and a half faster than Jurg last lap. Now that Duke's gotten around Doc and been able to put 17 seconds behind him.
He's got 30 minutes, so I mean, this is. I feel like this is Silver's. I mean, he does have to make a pass, and we've seen that, but he's so much quicker. I don't think he'll have a problem getting
Bucky
by.
Goldstein in the pits. Parker B in the pits.
All right, here we go.
Dusty Dwayne, Dirty Dwayne, top four in the
Leader
pits.
Durst is pitting.
Let's see whether they take tires or not. Trick Dickel will be your leader cycling through unless Trick stays out. Let's go to Jurg here. Here's Jurg coming around the final corner. He's obviously going to pass all of these cars who are still in the pits.
Yeah, so we knew this would end up being the lead. And I'm sure Silver won't have a problem being ahead of these guys either, unless somebody takes no tires. Here comes one.
Bucky
Let's
Goldstein,
see.
24 seconds, no tires.
I don't know. It's going to be close. He's going to have that inside line. I think he's still going to lose the spot, or is he?
I don't think he's got enough momentum. We'll see. Duke Silver, side by side. Bucky's on the outside. Bucky is not going to make this pass. We've seen this time and time again. Back up, Bucky, get in line.
Oh, that's so close, though. That's how close it was for Silver to be in a spot where it would hinder his chances of getting to Jurg.
Doc in the pits. We've got a big cycle of pits here. All right, we've got some that have pit and some that haven't. We got Trick Dickel out on track, has not pit. He is going to need to pit, probably pit this lap. Jurg, second place with Duke Silver just 5.5 seconds back. Jurg did not take tires. Duke did. Then you've got Bucky, Parker, Dusty, and Dirty, none of which took tires. The next car to take tires is Potator here, is leading this procession. He is 38 seconds back from Trick. He is 24 seconds back from Jurg. He did take tires. So the big challenge really is Duke Silver. Duke is 5 seconds back from Jurg and has fresher tires. The 5 cars behind him and the car in front of him do not have fresh tires. Duke was 2 seconds faster than Jurg last lap, 2 seconds faster than Bucky Goldstein behind.
Yeah, he's getting into the same frame now, so You going back, before all this sequence started, Jurg was he was faster and had a little gap, but he chose to take no tires. And now, it's almost like, why you were in the spot where you could be offensive, but he kind of chose to take a defensive strategy. Um, and now it looks like it may cost him. I mean, still the lead, still got to make the pass, but it looks like this may have been the wrong strategy.
Yeah, Duke is he's cut 3/4 of a second off since we've been watching.
Yeah, but meanwhile, like Goldstein, I think that was the proper thing to do because he stayed out. He knew it wasn't going to take tires.
Right, and he pit this late. I think if there was another hour to go in the race, I think you take tires. When there's not another hour, I think not taking the tires is the right call. Now you can see in the relative, Duke is driving away from Bucky. Bucky is not going to be able to catch Duke if these lap times hold. The question will be, can Bucky catch Jurg? B, when Duke catches Jurg, does he pass him or just follow him?
I mean, he's going to make a pass as soon as he can. I don't know why he would follow him.
Is aggression and optimism not set high enough? But I agree with you. He absolutely should. He should.
Yeah, but I think he's gaining on him enough. Early in the race, everybody was on the even playing field. Now this is a clear tire ban. Yeah, I saw that. Got loose. Which the track temperature's come down a couple degrees as the
68,
sun's setting.
Yep.
So you would think that would put a little more grip in the car, but these guys are on, especially Duke or Jurg, rather, he's on old tires, which we haven't seen at all until now.
We're going to keep an eye on this battle because this is going to be your battle for the lead. Trick Dickel is your leader, but Trick has not yet pit. Trick is coming around to that area where he's going to have to decide, can he pit or can he go another? He is pitting this lap. Trick is pitting this lap. He will complete the cycle.
Yeah, Trick Dickel, he's from Dry Gulch, Arizona.
That's a long ways to come for a race.
He did. They load up that. Not many teams out of Dry Gulch, but especially road racing teams out in the desert.
Duke is slinging it here. He's got that gap to just over 2 seconds. He's definitely going to catch him. We've got about 25 minutes left, roughly 12 laps probably, give or take.
Yeah, I mean, he's sniffing that draft.
Somebody's flashing their lights. Bucky's flashing his lights.
That's because that car pulled out of the pit right in front of him.
Trick Dickel pulling out of the pits. Now, Trick. Trick had something happen. No, that wasn't Trick.
Okay.
That was somebody else pulled out of the pits. It must have been. I just saw it. I just saw Trick flying down the standings. He was still in the pit. So he came out in 9th place. Duke Silver, your fastest car on track.
Yeah, he's got tires. He didn't get caught up in traffic, even though it was really close when Goldstein came out of the pit. But that's what we're talking about. You got to pit, have clean air, and not only that, he's sideways, so he's getting after it.
He is getting after it there on top of the hill.
And watching Indy, it was fun to see. You could tell the aggressiveness picked up on the whole field late in the race. And I think that's what happens. They got that incorporated in here as it gets late in the race. They pick up speed. They know, they're got to, because that's what happens. Your nerves get going, especially if you're second and time's winding down. You just want to get that lead.
Down under a second. He is driving away from Bucky Goldstein. Bucky's got a 10-second gap to 4th place. He's, without a doubt, he's caught Jurg. I'm not even going to say he's going to catch him. He has caught him. The question is now, what does he do?
Yeah, let's see how he does. And we go back to putting your attributes in. Maybe just put a lot of skill into it and pit strategy. But look at this. He's going for it right away. But let's see if he's got enough on it to do it. But I just think he's fast enough, and it's not going to matter. He had a bad corner there just because he was tucked in underneath. But let's see if a little draft, if he can poke a nose to the right here.
Yeah, going to the outside's not going to help you there, Duke.
Yeah, and I think that was more of a defensive line from Yerg coming in a little shallower, whereas kind of ran a normal apex from the outer to the outside to inside. That's what it's just going to be. But you know, you only got maybe 2 places to pass on this track, and you said at 12 to go. Sure, you could do it, but we'll see.
We know he's got the speed, he's got the tires. And I mean, this just goes to show, I mean, he caught him so quick. This just goes to show in real life and iRacing, just there's a big difference between catching someone and passing someone.
Yeah. And being patient too, that's one thing in the real world. Somebody would just say, I'm so fast, and that we talked about earlier about blinking the lights just because you catch them, but it's an art to do that, and you got to understand when to do it. Maybe you are way faster, but maybe wait to 5 laps in before you make your move. But essentially got to be a little bit more aggressive the longer you're behind them, to eventually get it done, because we are in a race here. You're not here to follow the leader.
I do think it's cool. The AI drivers here, we've come down to a battle of one taking tires, one not taking tires, different pit strategies, and it's all come down to, you know, the last 10 laps before they battle it out. So that to me is kind of cool to see.
Yeah, you're right on that. We just kind of lose sight of that this has been a long race. Here he goes. Let's see. I know this is usually not working out for guys, but he's been a lot quicker. Shut the door on him.
He's going to go to the outside again, and we've not seen that work. Yerg blocking to the outside. In the background, you see Bucky Goldstein and Chris Wold. That's a lap car. That is not a battle for position.
Yeah, and the other guy that got tires was Poe Tater, but remember, he got stuck behind Noisewater, and that could have been the 10 seconds he needed to possibly get a podium here.
Yeah, Potater is kind of in the same situation here with Parker B, between 4th and 5th, where he's got to get around Parker. Parker did not take tires. Poe did. It's basically, I mean, they're 18 seconds back battling for 4th. It's the same thing we see up front. Duke was driving away from Bucky Goldstein. That gap was over 8 seconds. And has caught Yerg and just not able to get by. That gap to Bucky is now just over 7 seconds and shrinking.
It's getting dark. Sun's setting. And that could change too if you've got a lot of smooth. Maybe you don't have smoothness built into your driver, but with the track temperature dropping, that sort of thing, maybe that kind of helps that situation.
We got Dirty Dwayne and Clean Dwayne battling. Dirty Dwayne leading this group. Clean Dwayne right behind. Dusty Dwayne next in position, but 4 seconds back. These Dwaynes always seem to find each other. Potater struggling to get by Parker B, even though Poe's got fresh tires. Here we go with a move to the inside. Not going to be able to make it happen.
Oh, look at
yep,
that.
There we go. Potater makes the pass on Parker B. Yeah. Poe using those fresher tires. Poe's now got a 10-second gap to Bucky Goldstein. Poe was able to throw down some fast laps with these fresher tires. I just don't know if he's got enough laps left to catch Bucky Goldstein, who is 10 seconds in front.
Yeah, and it just going back, just like right there. And then earlier, he's just been caught up in traffic. That's what's hurt him.
Clean Dwayne trying to make a move on Dirty Dwayne. Dirty Dwayne has the outside here. And Dirty Dwayne able to maintain. Clean Dwayne could not make the pass, and now is going to end up. Oh, see the lights flashing. Clean Dwayne flashing his lights at Luke B. Luke B is a lap car getting there between Clean Dwayne and Dirty Dwayne. I don't know if Dirty Dwayne paid Luke B or somebody owes somebody a favor, but that's a lap car getting in between a battle for 6th and 7th place. El Guapo making a move for 13th place here. Able to get ahead of Doc Noisewater. Let's see if he can make it stick. He does make it stick. El Guapo in 13th, Doc in 14th, followed by Bradley Beeman, Ricky Hyatt, and Chris L.
We haven't mentioned El Guapo. He's from Foggy Mountain, Louisiana.
So Duke Silver here not able to get past Jurg. It's still just under 7-second gap to Bucky Goldstein, who really has nowhere to go, good or bad. But Potator now 8 seconds back, 8.5 seconds back from Bucky Goldstein with clean track and fresher tires, but probably 8 to 9 laps. Let's see what this kind of time he can put in this lap now that he's clean. You can see he's put 3 seconds on Parker B this lap, who he was behind last lap.
Yeah, it looks like he's quick enough. He could probably get to Bucky, but just like we're seeing with Silver here with Jurg, I just swore he would have called him and made a pass as soon as he could, but it's very hard to pass.
Yeah, it took Poe several laps to get past Parker. Yeah, Poe was 3.5 seconds faster than Bucky last lap, so he should be able to catch him. The question is, what can he do about trying to pass him? Meanwhile, Trick Dickel on the outside of Dusty Dwayne ends up not passing Dusty. Colby riding that train on the inside. Trick Dickel down 2 spots. Doc battling here with Ricky Hyde and Bradley Beeman. Looks like some Audis working together. Doc in 16th place.
Yeah, it's not worked out. He's been hemorrhaging positions here, so you know this what are these cars? TCRs.
TCRs.
What are they?
Yep.
TCRs. They're not the team strength for the Noisewater bunch.
Dirty Dwayne, Clean Dwayne once again battling here with lap car Luke. Yeah, with Luke B, a lap car. Oh, yeah, that was
still sideways. There's no clean with that.
No, they are driving it in hard. That's Dirty Dwayne followed by Clean Dwayne. Clean Dwayne did get past Luke B, the lap car. That's Potator in front of Parker B. I'm sorry, that's Parker B in front of Dirty Dwayne. Potator is 9 seconds up now. But that is a battle for position, 5, 6, and 7.
We need to change some names on those Dwaynes. I can't keep up with them.
They're all double Ds.
Look like Sideways Dwayne up there for a little bit.
Yeah. Potator has got that gap down to 4 seconds with about 6 or 7 laps to go. We've got 13 minutes left.
Yeah, I'm obviously every minute goes by, I'm less confident with Duke Silver. And it could be too, he got there, you saw him sideways before he got to him. I mean, the tires could finally just now be evening out. And every lap that goes by, that's what's happening. So if you couldn't get them quick, you're just listening to your chances at this point.
overall, it's been a really good race. We've not really had any major incidents, which I'm glad to see. We've had a couple people wreck, a couple people usually a little more over driving in a corner, a little more optimistic than they were actually able to be. Fastest car on track right now, Potator. We've seen different strategies come into play. We've seen tire strategies, fuel strategies, pit strategies. This has been, for AI racing, I think this has been a um, really good performance of seeing it all come to play. And then here at the end, the strategies are playing out, and we don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, and I mean, heck, if Potato can make quick work of Bucky, I know that. I mean, he's got two of them in a lap car, and I know that's very unlikely. But who knows? Who makes a move, and now Jurgen Silver just can't seem to figure it out. He could get up there and play a part.
Yeah, he was almost 4 seconds faster than the leader last lap, so he definitely can catch him. The issue is going to be Chris Wald here and Bucky Goldstein. That was close.
Yeah,
too wide. They're gonna. The Honda team is working together. They are not going to make it easy on Potator.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit too difficult to pass. So, I think all in all, I think the no tire has been the call because it just simply puts you ahead of them, even though you're like a roadblock to everybody. But it does look. You see up front there as they went by the yard running that defensive line, but he's side by side with him now. This could be it.
This could be it. Duke Silver now with the lead, it looks like. He's got the inside, so he's definitely going to have the lead.
And it looked like Jurg just ran a very defensive line, and that's what cost him.
Yeah, we've seen the outside not make it. Yep, inside. Duke Silver to the lead with those fresher tires. That's it. He's going to drive away.
They radioed in, said Potator's coming. Make it happen. And
Potator flashing his lights at lap car Chris Wall. Chris.
See right there, if he didn't make that move in that turn 2, now you're wasting a whole lap, which we got like 4 or 5 to go at this point.
Yeah.
That right there, that's your chances. But that's been ongoing for 2.5 hours of those situations that make up whether this race goes your way or not.
Yeah, Potator definitely the fastest car on track with those fresh tires. We'll see if Duke can pick up the pace a little bit. He's already put 2 seconds on Jurg. Now, Chris Wald gets out of the way. I guess those flashing lights work. But Bucky Goldstein is for position. I don't see Bucky pulling over for him. He's looking for a way to make a pass. He knows we are short on laps, and he knows he can challenge for at least another position.
Yeah, he might get second out of this. He needs to make the move, though, right here. But, I mean, he's 4 seconds. Duke was maybe, 2 seconds at the best when he was gaining. Yeah. So he's much faster, much better.
Let's look into the outside here. He has caught up to him. He's going to – he's got the inside. He's made the pass. That is the fastest pass I think we've seen all day.
Yeah, he's really taken advantage. That late pit stop and getting the tires very late has allowed him to at least pass, instead of just getting stuck. So that's the thing. You say, well, all right, everybody got tires, so I'm going to get my tires. But if it's 3 laps, it don't really matter. But if it's 20 laps, now you can. That's where it makes a difference, and that's what it was. He had a huge gap between his pit and the other guys.
Yeah, you can see.
I guess it was 4 seconds, but still, or 4 laps.
Yeah, he is driving away from Bucky Goldstein. Bucky's almost 2 seconds back now. That is not going to be the challenge for Potator here with 4 to 5 laps left. He has got just under a 5-second gap to Jurg. I think he can catch Jurg. I do not think he can catch Duke. But he might still be able to catch up and battle for second place. Meanwhile, Dirty Dwayne and Clean Dwayne continue to battle for this 6th, 7th spot, with Parker B leading Dirty and Clean. You see in the background cars flashing their lights. That's the 31 of Colby Tucker flashing his lights around the outside. Less than 2 seconds between 5th and 8th place here with 8 minutes left to go.
Yeah, this is crazy right here. If I'm either one of the Dwaynes, I'm nervous that I'm going to get caught up in a big wreck right here.
Yeah, I feel like they have turned the aggression up with
Yeah.
10 laps to go.
That's what I was saying. It seems like that's one thing iRace does. It gets to the end, and whatever your aggressive is, it goes up 20%, whatever it is. But you can see it on track. Saw it at Indy big time, and they're really doing it here. Plus, a lot of these guys aren't on tires. I don't know if these guys took tires. I don't think they did.
Clean
Maybe they did, I'm
Dwayne,
not sure.
Clean Dwayne is on tires.
Okay.
Parker B and Dirty Dwayne are not. Colby Tucker is. So we've got 2 cars. The 2 in the middle did not take tires. Clean Dwayne, yeah. So see, Clean Dwayne now he's
Yeah,
got a
he's
3
pulling
second.
away.
He's driving away. So Colby here is on fresh tires and has yet to be able to make a move to take advantage of those.
Yeah, this is just where everything came together. Got some no tires and fresh tires, and they all got to meet in one spot.
Here's Colby to the inside. Let's see if he can make this stick. He does have the outside here. He has momentum. He'll be back on the inside into the final turn. Should be able to make this stick. He does. Colby Tucker gets around one of the cars. That puts Colby in 7th place with Parker B in front of him. Parker on old tires, Colby on new tires. Colby to the inside, not able to make a move here, but he's got to make it going up the mountain. We've seen this is where the passing happens. He looks to try and do something, just does not have the momentum going up the hill. Meanwhile, Potater has caught Jurg. Potater put in 3.5 second faster lap than Jurg the last lap. Poe does have fresh tires. Jurg does not. Potater was faster than Duke Silver, our leader even. I don't know that he's going to be able to catch him. If he wants any hope of it, he's going to have to make very quick work of Jurg.
Yeah, I don't see him catching Duke, just simply because he does have tire. And even if he were to get to him, you have to be way faster to make a move. So I think it's a battle for second for him right now. But you never want to give up. You never know how somebody may pit and come out right in front of Duke, and there you are. You're right into it. You never give up.
Yeah, and we saw Poe make quick work of some of these cars. Here he goes, trying to make a move on Jurg. This is where he made the pass last time.
Not far enough.
We'll see. Can he pinch him down? He can.
5 minutes left.
Yeah.
He's able to hold the corner and make that pass.
All right.
All right, he's got
Good
Duke
teammates.
Silver 9 seconds ahead. I think we have about 4 laps left. We've only got 5 minutes left. I don't think we have that long. Meanwhile,
about 2.5
Dirty
left,
Dwayne
yeah.
battling with Colby Tucker. Colby's got those fresh tires, but Colby being held up by Parker B. As we're coming down to the end of this race, we still have some battles. Duke Silver with a 9-second gap over Potater. Those are the fresh tires. Jurg followed by Bucky Goldstein. Then we've got Clean Dwayne. And 9 seconds back, we have the battle for 6th place between Parker B, Colby Tucker, and Dirty Dwayne and Trick Dickel. Trick Dickel has raced his way up to get into this battle. We once again have 4 cars within a half a second of each other, trying to get position of these cars. Colby. Yeah, Scott's got a meatball. Scott had a crash. We're going to stay focused. We'll come back to that later. We'll stay focused on this battle for position as we come to the closing minutes of the race.
These guys right here, when I'm racing, my strategy didn't work out, or I got held up in traffic, whatever. But when you're in this pack right here, man, this is why you get iRacing, and it's why you enjoy it. You just having a blast.
Absolutely. All right, they're back to single file. Let's go see if we can see what happened to Scott. He's on the hill. Oh, it looks like he's off speed here. I don't know if he ran out of gas or... Let's go back again.
Yeah, he may
This
have
is
ran out
coming
of
into
talent.
turn 1. This is when it all started. Off track, but no damage there. And then going up the mountain, he was way off pace.
He may have overshot turn 2.
Oh, and he
'cause
hit the
left
wall
side-
there. We saw that
Yeah,
earlier
we
and
saw
just
that.
towed.
Yeah. Stopped at that bus stop there.
Yep. Oh, Dusty Dwayne with a meatball. Dusty Dwayne. Wait, we've got Luke B. Dusty
There it
Dwayne.
is.
Let's get caught up here. So let's see what
That's
happens to
what
Luke
happened.
B. Here's Luke B. up in the top of the mountain. Oh, side by
They
side, you
crashed.
saw him brush the wall. And Luke B. and Dusty Dwayne. Let's look at this from above.
Oh, the guys had to miss it.
This is Dusty Dwayne. Oh, car stopped on track.
Yeah, that's where he parked it.
Yeah, let's come back to this here. Let me get. Yeah, he parked it. There's a car. Oh, the car.
2 minutes to go, 2
You saw in the
minutes.
background. He missed, trying to avoid the car, stopped on track and hit the wall. This is Dusty Dwayne, who has a meatball just trying to limp home.
Well, that was the thing. We kept saying that with those guys. The aggressive levels up.
Yeah.
And they were in a big pack. And as soon as one got off, there's no room for error up there in the mountain.
So we've got Duke Silver with an 8-second gap on Poe Tater, 4 seconds back to your Bucky Goldstein. Looks like another 10 seconds back. Then we got Clean Dwayne, and then we still have a 4-car battle for 6th place between Parker B, Colby Tucker, Dirty Dwayne, and Trick Dickel. As we come to the final, let's see, we got a minute left. Where is the leader? The leader's on the top of the mountain coming down. This is going to be the white flag lap for the leader. So we probably have 1.5 laps. Colby Tucker closing on Parker, but not able to get the pass. Colby does have fresher tires. Parker on older tires. I think they're going to have this downhill section, and they'll probably have one more lap. This is the biggest battle on the track. On the downhill section for the second to the last time. I think. Unfortunately, when you're not in the race, it doesn't tell you whether it's the white flag or not. I think this is going to be second to last lap. We'll be able to tell when they hit turn 1 how hard they race. Dirty Dwayne tried to make a move on Colby, wasn't able to. Now that brings Trick Dickel in next to Dirty Dwayne. Trick on the outside, Dirty Dwayne on the inside. Dirty's able to maintain that position. Looking to make a move on the inside here. This should be the white flag coming to the final lap. Dirty Dwayne trying to make a move on Parker, or Colby rather.
You got to run, though.
This is your final lap. Colby Tucker on the inside. Parker B on the outside. Colby's going to have the advantage here. Parker's going to fall back. Does Dirty Dwayne also try to go to the inside and take advantage of it, or does he follow to the outside? He does go to the inside. That moves Parker B all the way to the back of this 4-car pack. So that's now Colby Tucker, Dirty Dwayne, Trick Dickel, Parker B. Colby does have the fresh tires. I expect he will be able to drive away everybody else here on the same tires. Last lap. They are at the top of the mountain now. Colby's built almost a second lead with those tires. We got Dirty Dwayne and Trick Dickel. Parker B falling back. He used his tires up defensively, trying to block. So now the battle's between Dirty Dwayne and Trick Dickle. Dirty seems to be pulling away from Trick
1 gallon remaining.
as we get ready to head down the mountain on this final lap. Meanwhile,
New
Duke
fastest lap for
Silver
Robinson,
taking the
2:19.83.
lead, followed by Potator.
Fastest lap for
I'm sorry,
Silvera,
Duke Silver taking the
2:16.27.
win. Potator in second.
Fastest lap for Tayeta,
We're going to stay focused on this
2:16.03.
as Jurg takes the checkered flag for third. We do have a little battle here between Bucky and Clean Dwayne as we come to the final turn. Bucky Goldstein able to hold Clean Dwayne off. Bucky in fourth, Clean Dwayne fifth. Dirty Dwayne coming into the final corner, able to hold off Trick Dickle in. So Dirty Dwayne for seventh, Trick Dickle eighth, Parker B in ninth. Mike Hunt, we talked about earlier, ended up 10th place. I think he would have had a really good race if he had not had to have that extra time in the pits. Handy Slider 11, El Guapo 12. Bradley Beeman coming in 13th. Ricky Hyde 14th, and Chris L. winding up your top 15. Man.
Well, Duke had he had that saxophone playing well tonight, so
Yeah.
he yeah, everything worked out. That's what you got to do. You just got to stay in it. And he didn't lead every lap early on, but he put himself in a good position. And that's what you do in these races. Fun to sit back and watch, like we're doing here, and then kind of invest yourself in the race because, you know, sometimes you feel like you're in a race like that, and you think, well, I'm just fifth best, and that's all I am. But you know, you just keep going at it, and you catch a few breaks on the racetrack, and look at him, you win by 8 seconds.
Absolutely. And you keep chugging along and try to learn while you're at it, watching what the guys are doing in front of you. And I really thought this was cool. We had tire strategy, pit strategy, fuel strategy, all the above. Turns out tires won. Not completely. You know, we did have Clean Dwayne and Colby Tucker did take tires. They ended up fifth and sixth, whereas Jurg and Bucky in third and fourth did not take tires. So we had tires, no tires, no tires, tires, no tires, no tires. So it was a mix. Skill level. It wasn't just strategy. It was skill. It was strategy. It was all the above. Been a fun race. It's been 2 hours and 40 minutes of excitement. It started out as a train, but they really got to battling hard there at the end. Doc, I want to thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed it, and you're welcome to come back anytime.
Yeah, this was fun. When I first heard about it, I was like, well, how come I didn't know about this? But, you know, I get busy with work, and apparently that's when you kind of started putting this together. So I invested my hard-earned money and put it into a car to get on the racetrack, finish 16th with it, and we'll build on that as a team.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's just fun. I just thought it'd be fun to get in here, make up some of my hometowns and stuff like that. And, maybe if I catch the next one, we'll jump in and do it again.
Yeah, it's Monday afternoon. Our next race is South Boston. Super late models, 100 laps on a little short track oval. Have not done any testing with super late models. We'll see how that works out. That'll be fun. Today's Monday. Thinking of my schedule. It'll be Friday or Saturday. I'll post it up in the Discord. Will be probably Friday or Saturday when I'll run the next sim race. I usually try to do about 2 a week. South Boston will be race number 8 of an 11 race schedule. We'll get these 11 races in and then have some discussion on Discord about how we want to proceed, if we want to proceed, and if we want to stick to a single format, single class, how we want to do it. Figure it out and go from there. But thank you all for joining us out there. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to get your attributes in. Look for an announcement on when those need to be in. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Doc.
Yep, see ya.